Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse.
It's the Madhouse Maniacs. They're getting up on their feet.
Mass chaos. Oh, he hits them, climbing all over each other. Trouble.
Every time you turn around, there's physicality.
The fans are on their feet for a photo finish.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR's greatest Coliseum.
We have action every Saturday night here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Still the most exciting of them all.
Big crash. Oh! This is Bowman Gray.
Welcome to the 1,123rd edition of racing at the famed Bowman Gray Stadium. We are just outside of the Twin City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina for night 11 of NASCAR racing in 2025 at the legendary quarter-mile oval around a football field. It's True Lion, Night of Destruction. Yes, we have monster trucks and a demo derby on the card, and we have a packed house here today. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Diller. Alongside of me, Jeff Button. And look at what we have in store tonight.
There's one thing you can take to the bank tonight for True Lion Night of Destruction. It's going to be a night full of madness. You've got the stadium stocks. They've got 15 laps, and you got twin sportsmans and twin modifieds, and then monster trucks, Bob.
A lot on the card here tonight, as we mentioned. And by the way, a little bit of a hurry-up mode because Mother Nature reared her ugly head earlier today here. And there is some weather to the west that everybody is keeping an eye on. And that's why you see the stadium stocks on the racetrack right now. A good field of cars here today. This one is going to be a blast with these four-cylinder race cars. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one here today for one stadium stock race here tonight. On the point for this one, the number 58 car with one win to his credit back in 2010. It's Cody Arrington, and alongside of him, a 66-time winner in this class. Fourth place in points, AJ Sanders.
Next row, you've got car number 86, Dakota Meller. The rookie. Outside of him is car number 46, Colton Brown.
In row number 3, Steven Sanders. That's the son of AJ. And car number 11, starting 6th last week, a winner here in the B feature. The 95, Lightning McQueen. Levi Holt.
Next row, you've got car number 2 of Carson Reed, and on the outside of him is car number 26 of Ricky Wall.
Starting 9th in this race on the inside, a very big name contender here. 37 wins for him here in this class. Chuck Wall in the 81, alongside Isaac Harris. The 59 car should be tough here tonight as well.
Starting 11th in car number 51 is Andrew Cates, and starting outside of him in the car number 27 is Ethan Hutchins.
Inside in row number 7, this guy third in points, broke a string of top 5 runs this year last week. The 47 of Tyler McDonald, and to his outside, Luke Smith in the 82nd in points.
Starting 15th in car number 83 is Michael Cates, and on the outside of him is our points leader, car number 43 of Brandon Brindle.
Starting 17th here tonight, the sophomore sensation, the 44 of Blaze Sanders, and to his outside, starting 18th, 10th in points for Peanut Baker.
Next row in car number 60 is Brad Michalowski, and starting on the outside of him, car number 18 is Billy Andrews.
Starting 21st with one win to his credit in his career, the 71 of James Allison, and then the rookie, the 15 of Andre Chavez.
Last row, 34-time winner in car number 61 is Charlie Curry, a legend here. On the outside of him is another legend as a character in the car number 7 of Chris Allison in Pintang.
Gotta love Chris Allison and that Pintang machine, made famous by my brother Matthew Dillner a couple of years ago. And we miss Matthew here tonight. He's not in the booth for Flow Racing tonight. You're stuck with me and Jeff Bunton, but we're going to have a blast. Justin Mincy joins us as well as D-Lo Lucas Kaler back in the shop in Charlotte, North Carolina. Right now, getting ready to go racing tonight with the Stadium Stock Division. This first race, 15 laps, and a pretty good points race as well. One of the best that we see so far, and certainly one of the best that we've seen in the stadium stocks for the last several years. Coming into this, Brandon Brendel, man, he has been so dominant and has got those 5 wins, but still only 24 markers ahead of Luke Smith.
Luke Smith is maybe behind 24 markers, but Luke Smith's not going to give up. Each week he's doing a little bit better as he goes along here, but there's one thing for sure. Brandon Brendel's car has been hooked up. This has probably been the best I've seen it since he's been back in the stadium stock.
Tyler McDonald, third in points. A.J. Sanders still lurking back there. Mr. Consistency really this year for that 24 car, but he's won 4 championships. He can still get it done. If there's anybody in this top 5, you see Connor Keaton, Grayson Keaton, they're not here this week. Chuck Wall is there. He's been up and down all year long. Your boy, Brad Michalowski, in the 60 is 8th in points. Carson Reed and Peanut Baker rounding out the top 10.
Well, one thing's for sure is A.J. Sanders is going to put on a show tonight, and he might be sitting there in the points where he's at, but don't count him out.
A.J. Sanders, 3 wins already this year. That's second only to Brendel in that 43 car. Well, look at where A.J. is going to be starting here on the outside of the front row. Listen, if we go green to checker, that 24 car is going to be untouched.
That 24 car is going to be sitting on cruise control, Bob, and he's going to be looking for that checkered flag. And before you know it, 15 laps down, and 24's got the checkered flag.
AJ loves coming here to Bowman Gray Stadium. A winner at Ace earlier this year as well. I know you were at Ace a couple of weeks ago. They run some great racing over there on Friday nights, right? In Altamaha, North Carolina. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Altamaha.
Altamaha. Okay, something like that.
Good try.
By Elon University, and tonight we're by Winston-Salem State University. And, of course, this racetrack built around a football field, and the Rams play here in the fall each and every season.
Yep, we've got stock car racing around a football field. You're going to see some madness tonight. We're going to see officials tell these drivers, simmer down, simmer down. But there's no going to be any simmer down, and there's going to be a night of destruction here as we have the True Lion Night of Destruction, and it's going to be madness.
5 nights of racing left. What are your thoughts as somebody who has been around the Bowman Gray scene for such a long time? These points variances in the championship hunt, pretty wide right now, but what are your thoughts with what could happen for the remainder of the season?
With these races left to go, the gloves are off, as we saw last week. Zach Orr told me a couple weeks ago in Sportsman. I asked him, I said, Zach, how are you going to get around that 31? He said, JB, brother, we might have to put the bumper to him. And he did just that. We'll go over that later. But it ended up backfiring on him, and that ended up costing them the win.
Part of the beauty that we see here at Bowman Gray Stadium, you see the families in the crowd. Look at this crowd here tonight. We had a rain delay. We did not have practice. We did not have qualifying for the NASCAR Modifieds. We're just going racing. But yet you look around this stadium here tonight, and there are thousands of people here to witness racing at one of the most legendary tracks in America.
Mother Nature did not scare the Madhouse maniacs from coming out of the woodwork. This place is jam-packed, and they're ready for some madness tonight.
And everybody has those True Lion fans in the grandstands. True Lion, the presenting sponsor of all the racing action here tonight. And those fans, take a look at it. That's the yellow things that you see everybody fanning themselves with. It's hot. It's humid. We don't know what to expect tonight.
Oh, don't ever try to expect anything here at the Madhouse. Anything is possible. Anything can happen here. And tonight it's going to be humid, hot, and you're going to have hot tempers. That's guaranteed.
We were talking about how many nights of racing we've had. Last week, we had double points nights here for NASCAR racing with all the different divisions, and it was some wild racing. Not the point shakeups that we thought we might see, but if you take a look at what we saw as far as the winners from last week, how about Mike Speeney in the NASCAR Modified division, winning that big 100-lap race, his third victory of the season. Twin features for the sportsman class. Mitch Gales gets that big win. Tommy Neal, his 55th of his career here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And then the big man, Bryant Robertson, going back to victory lane in the street stocks. Luke Smith and Levi Holt split these stadium stock features last week. And by the way, let's mention the sportsman class, because we have some drama kind of building here going into this week's racing action between the top two guys in points. This is the final lap last week of the first feature. Chase Robertson on the inside, Zach Orr on the outside. They get together, opens up the Red Seas for Mitch Gales, the 38, to win the feature, the first of his career. But some fireworks, hot tempers, high emotions in the pit area. Zach Orr climbing over the back end of his car to talk to the Robertson group. Looks like we're going to be going racing here, though, with the Stadium Stocks first feature on tap for 15 laps. They're coming to the green flag this next time by. Cody Arrington on the point with the king of the Stadium Stocks, A.J. Sanders alongside. We are green flag racing once again here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Sanders, as we predicted, gets the lead easy in that blue number 24 car. Now we'll see what others can do as they're going to try to reel in A.J. Sanders, the king of this class.
One lap is on the board as A.J. Sanders, like I was saying before, is going to sit on cruise control. He's got the checkered flags in sight. He's got Harrington is sitting comfortable in second with a gaggle of cars on the backside here.
The battle is
trouble, backstretch. We got some cars around, Bob.
We do. A few of them going around here today, and you take a look, that'll bring out the caution in this one. And just a melee ensuing just 2 laps into this race. So problems already in this class here tonight. And you saw several of those race cars have trouble there on the backstretch. Good call by you, JB, on that one. So we'll see how things shake out.
Not a good night for Andrew Cates here. He's got both left sides down.
Yeah, problems. He's going to have to head to the pit area in that machine that you see on your screen right there. He's got 2 flat tires on the left side. So first caution in this one, as A.J. Sanders was hoping to go green to checker on this one.
That's one caution that A.J. Sanders did not need to see there. It's going to bunch the field back up, and it shouldn't take them too long to get the track cleaned off here. They're going to have to set all these cars in line here that's been out of line after the caution was thrown. So this is going to take just a little bit of time. But A.J. Sanders got a good car under him. He shouldn't have no problem, but they're going to give him a run for his money here.
A couple of cars to watch coming from a little bit further back, including that 81 car, who should be very good here tonight. He's won so many races at this racetrack, and Chuck Wall out of Lexington, North Carolina, should be one that we expect to climb through the field.
Absolutely. That's one to watch right there, but as we are going to look at them, giving them one to go next time by, is the track looks pretty clean. We got everybody in order. We should see him get the one to go. It should be a good restart for AJ. I don't see anybody up there right now that could give him a challenge.
And by the way, one of the cars that was involved in that mishap, the number 18 of Billy Andrews out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, he was right in the thick of things last week as we get the one to go signal. And I tell you what, it's nice to see Billy Andrews back here, but he and the Keaton boys really had some wars on the racetrack last week.
Oh, yeah, that's what the Madhouse is all about, is rivalries. And we witnessed that last weekend, that is for sure.
So coming to the green flag right now, A.J. Sanders over Arrington. Third place in this race is Miller, who had a good run in the B feature last week, finished in the top 3. Green flag is back out. A.J. Sanders set sail, but already fanned out for second, third, and fourth. Here comes Holt on the outside, and that white number 95 had himself a good run. Here comes Chuck Wall as well. Chuck Wall to the inside, gaining a couple of spots on that restart.
Chuck Wall is following Miller and Brown as they make a hole, and they're racing for third and second as we got trouble right there at the can opener. We got the number 2 in the infield of Carson Reed. No caution yet. They're trying to get him rolling again, and caution's out.
Yeah, you knew it was going to come if he continued to sit there, definitely in danger's way. And by the way, the 58 of Cody Arrington, slow on the backstretch as well for that orange 58 machine. He appears headed to the pit area. Indeed, he is. But there is the number 2 machine of Carson Reed, who spun out off of turn number 4 to the infield.
Now, Matthew said that the can opener hasn't seen much action this year, but right there, that had played a factor in it. It might not be nice and smooth after NASCAR came in here and gave this place a facelift, but it still pokes out there some. But as you saw when that wreck happened, this infield is saturated from the storms that we had earlier. That's going to play a factor with this green racetrack.
And here's what happened earlier in the day. You saw, the track trucks on the racetrack trying to dry this place. And unfortunately, it rained for a while on 2 different occasions, but they were able to get this track ready for racing here tonight. By the way, you mentioned the can opener. Okay, for somebody
make a hole, and they're racing for third and second as we got trouble right there. The can opener.
There it is right there. The 2 car just going around. Maybe a little help for Carson Reed.
Absolutely, but yeah, the can
Let's
opener.
talk about that.
The can opener back before NASCAR came through here and gave it a facelift for the Clash. It had a guardrail that would poke out coming out of 4, right there at what we call the beer garden. That's where all the rowdy fans of the Madhouse get, the Madhouse Maniacs. And that guardrail was given a facelift with a safer barrier, and it doesn't poke out as much. Used to, that guardrail would grab a hold of a body and rip it just like a can.
Now, that depends on whom you talk to. If you walk through this pit area, they'll say it's actually even more narrow than it was before, especially when you get those modifieds on the racetrack with those big tires that they have on those race cars. So, it still sticks out there. It can reach out and bite you in a hurry, but we are very thankful to the safer barriers that we do have for NASCAR racing each and every week here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Looks like the yellow flag's still going to stay out. We were expecting a green flag that time by, but still sorting things out on this restart order.
We've got Jimmy Brown back there, captain of the best safety crew in all of racing, lining these cars up.
So a couple of cautions early in this one. I think we're starting to see what's going to transpire for the remainder of this race. Maybe a battle between 2 of the giants of stadium stock racing.
You know what that's called? That's called setting the tone for the night. I knew Matthew had that in his bingo card for me to say.
By the way, A.J. Sanders, who leads this race so far, he's dominated this division since he started racing here in, 2004. Sanders leads the all-time wins, top 5s, and top 10 categories, because not only can he go to victory lane, he's Mr. Consistency.
Mr. Consistency sees the flagman with 1 to go. Next time by, he will see the green flag. 4 laps on the board. We've got A.J. Sanders. We've got Meller. We've got Chuck Wall. We've got the 46 of Colton Brown. I said earlier he didn't have anybody to really challenge him. I take that back.
By the way, points leader Brandon Brendel, 9th in this running order, even though we're early in this one, with still 11 laps remaining. Back to green, and here comes Wall jumping to the outside. He'll grab 2nd going into turn number 1.
Great jump by the 81 of Chuck Wall, and he did a legal pass. He passed on the outside before the start-finish line. All is good as he hunts down A.J. Sanders going out of turn 4.
Meller still holds the 3rd spot. Here comes Holt. Holt has got himself a run. And then back there is the 59 car of Isaac Harris as well, who's always very quick in Winston-Salem.
Meller is being courtesy and letting these guys race him on the outside, giving them room. A little tight there off the can opener, but he's letting them go as Levi Holt still holding it on the outside. He's got him in a headlock.
Harris gave him a little shot to maybe straighten him out a little bit. But Holt was so good last week when he went to victory lane in that B Stadium stock event. And right now battling for 3rd. Harris thought about going to the inside of Meller, but Meller right on the bottom.
Right now, Miller's making it a run for him right now. Let's go back up front. We've got A.J. Sanders getting a challenge from Chuck Wall as he sees the cross flags out halfway, Bob.
A.J. Sanders, that car looks maybe a little bit on edge, a little bit loose going into the corners. By the way, Meller in the 86 dropping like a rock right now. Got a little bit out of shape, and he's been passed by about 5 or 6 cars. But the battle for the lead on the left side of your screen, a little bit further back.
We got trouble in turn 4.
We do. McDonald, one of the championship contenders. Now 2 straight weeks of heartbreak hotel for him.
Not a good night for McDonald as he gets it turned around in front of the leaders here. The leaders were about to put on a show before that caution came out. A.J. Sanders, he's got him a rearview mirror full of chuck wall.
There is Brandon Brendel in the 43. He was battling right around McDonald on this racetrack, and Brendel trying to pick up some spots. But right now, McDonald, who has been Mr. Consistency coming into last week's racing, a string of top 5 finishes for the entire season. Last week with trouble, finished just outside the top 5. Now this week, trouble again for the 47.
Not good for the 47, but let's take a look at the number 80 and the number 43. The 80's not letting the points leader out of his sight. As right now, we've got Luke Smith in a good spot there where he can keep an eye on that point leader, as Luke Smith is second in points.
Yeah, Luke Smith having himself a very consistent year, is second in points right now, but I still look right now at the top 2, and here's a replay. Brendel kind of getting into the back end, maybe the left rear of McDonald. Don't know if McDonald slowed a little bit or what happened there, but there was definitely contact between 2 of the top 3 in the point standings.
As your points leader, you do not want any conflict. You do not want any controversy. That might bite him in the butt later on down the road.
Is that a technical term?
That's a technical term.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yes,
there.
sir.
But here we go. We're watching the points battle. We're watching the top 2. An opportunity for sure for A.J. Sanders to maybe gain some points on Brandon Brendel. We talked about that. Brendel right now runs as the points leader in the 5th spot. Nice and clean on that restart for everyone in the top 5. A.J. Sanders over Chuck Wall. Best battle on the racetrack for 4th, Harris and Brendel.
We've got a good start for every one of these guys. You can put a blanket over the top 6, 7 right now. As Chuck Wall still, he's got a little bit of distance between him and Levi Holt. He's battling, trying to get by A.J. Sanders, seeing an opening.
Brendel getting a little bit impatient, wrapping the back bumper of Harris, who tries to get to the inside of Holt and does going into turn number 1. That's going to open up the door. Can Brendel fill the hole? Side by side behind that with Michalowski and also the 80 of Harris.
Right now, Harris is making a hole for Brandon Brendel to follow him as he takes that spot with 13 laps on the board. And right now, you see the 80. He's trying to stay up on Brandon Brendel, keep him in his sights, but he's got Levi Holt between him and Brendel.
Good battles right here as we get to the tail end of this race with just 1 lap to go. Luke Smith in that 80 car not able to get by the 95 of Holt. A.J. Sanders, Chuck Wall gives it one more try, going down into 3 and 4. A.J. Sanders back to victory lane here at the Madhouse.
A.J. Sanders, he had it on cruise control there for the first part, but he did have a mirror full of Chuck Wall. Good, hard fought by Chuck Wall. As we got a car around going into turn 4.
Second place in this race, Chuck Wall. 3rd, we believe, was Harris in the 59. And then behind that, it was Holt, Brendel, and Luke Smith in the 80 who came into this one 2nd in the point standings.
Oh, we got some activity back here on the backstretch after the checkered flag. This is going to set the tone for sure for tonight. Night of Destruction just started. Austin Cates of the 27. And now we've got the 26 on foot.
Look out. It's a foot race to get to that 27 car.
He took some notes from Zach Staley, that's for sure. He's after the 27, and it looks like Jimmy Brown's going to say, no, not tonight, buddy.
Yeah, Ricky Wall, not all too happy, was definitely going after Cates, but gets derailed in his mission.
Not sure what happened there to start that, but talk about some madness here at the Madhouse. Here we go again as you see A.J. Sanders with the checkered flag.
For the 67th time in his career, A.J. Sanders a winner in the Stadium Stocks in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We got cars all over this racetrack on the backstretch in turns 3 and 4 as A.J. Sanders will bring that car to victory lane. Exactly as we expected. By the way, A.J. Sanders, how about this? A win percentage of 26.8 in his career here in Stadium Stock action. We'll throw it downstairs to Chris Carter, who is in victory lane as A.J. Sanders' team gathers around that race car. His 4th win of the season for the king of the Stadium Stocks, A.J. Sanders, that family, going to celebrate here tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium, as weather has been playing a role here all day long with practice as well as qualifying for the NASCAR mods out. A.J. Sanders out in victory lane.
You done been in victory lane so many times, people like us, we don't even know what to say to you anymore. What a night, man. Great run.
Yeah, but it never gets old. You got such great competitors behind you like Chuck, Brandon. I mean, there's just so many. I could go on and on and on. But, you know, like I say every week, you can't do this without the good Lord above. You got to have him on your side. You can do all the driving you want, but you got to have him. My sponsors, Fast Faith here, they do my videos and stuff. Amanda Tucker with Carolina Triad Choice Realty. Carteret, Locaretta's a Moxville. Jerry Hunt Super Center. Wade's Interior. Jerry Hunt Super Center.
Congratulations to A.J. Sanders, the winner of the Stadium Stocks. We got more feature racing coming up here at Bowman Gray Stadium on Flow Racing.
I mean, I was looking earlier, to go out there and race against around this many people, when you see it out there on the track, this is amazing, and you're the most amazing fans at any racetrack. I race everywhere, so whether you like me or not, I love you. Tell them to make some noise, AJ. Tell them loud. Make some noise!
A.J. Sanders makes his way over to the Carolina Wood Floor Winner's Circle. Open your door to beautiful floors at Carolina Wood Floors. A.J. and his crew will get more of those delicious shakes, courtesy of Chick-fil-A Thruway Shopping Center. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? If you're the holder of a blue $12 admission ticket and the number is 0.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
The drama-filled NASCAR Sportsman class presented by the law offices of John Barrow up next with this great crowd on hand. And there you see some of the carnage from the Stadium Stock feature. That was the first feature on tap here tonight. If you just joined us on Flow Racing, A.J. Sanders with the big win over Chuck Wall in the Stadium Stocks. And now it'll be the first of the Twin 20s for the NASCAR Sportsman class. Steve Post in the house here tonight from MRN Radio. I'm sure he's on Twitter, X right now, tweeting all about the racing action here. He posted that he was going to be here, and we hope to get the racing in. And so far, it's okay, even though we have some gray skies overhead here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for race number 1. For the Twin 20s for the NASCAR Sportsman. On the point, the number 8 for the dog, Kyler Kepley, and alongside Kid Dynamite, the 97 of Justin Cummings.
Next row, car number 15 of T. Dawson. Outside of him is the Rockstar, 03 of Sterling Plemons.
In row number 3, on the inside out of Elkin, North Carolina, it's Marty Wilmoth. And then on the outside, last week's winner here, the 38 of Mitch Gales.
Congratulations to him. Good win there. Next row, car number 77 of Jeff Snow. On the outside of him is number 28 of Nate Gregg.
Rounding out the top 10 in this one, third in points, Donkey Strong, the number 12 of Justin Taylor, and Dylan Ward in the 23 alongside. He's going to be a factor in this one.
Starting in the 63 car of Terry Smith And on the outside of him, car number 14 of Jim Schoaf.
Will spot number 13 be lucky here tonight for Zach Orr in the 55? 3 wins already to his credit, and his points nemesis, he's second in points. Chase Robertson, the point leader on the outside of row number 7, with 4 wins to his credit this year.
Don't take your eyes off of that row. Next row, car number 40 is Hunter York. On the outside of him is car number 0 of Kurt Sheets.
The zero hero there with the number 0. Tommy Neal went to victory lane last week, his 55th of his career here in the NASCAR Sportsman class. Let's take a look at these standings before we go green flag racing for the Sportsman class here at Bowman Gray. Chase Robertson with a handy lead, let's just call it that, over Zach Orr. Maybe that's why Zach a little frustrated last week, especially with that last lap. Just theatrics in that first of the Twin 20 features. And Justin Taylor back in third. Mitch Gales with that win last week. And the rock star, Sterling Plemons, rounding out the top 5.
You got Tiger Tommy Neal sitting there, and then you got Ryan Robertson in the car number 23, which Dylan Ward is in the 23 tonight. And then you've got Dylan Ward there, which, again, he's in the car number 23. But T. Dawson in car number 15 and number 8 of Kyler Kepley in the top 10.
I want to mention Ryan Robertson not with us again for the second straight week. Basically what I was told, he was a little bit banged up a little bit from a wreck a few weeks back. And then also they have Dylan Ward in this car to kind of get it dialed in, because Dylan works on these race cars. So a lot of teamwork right there within the Robertson bunch. But as we mentioned earlier today, we saw some rainfall at this racetrack. Now, we have partly blue skies over Bowman Gray Stadium and partly very gray skies. And right now, a little bit of precipitation, but they're keeping the cars on the racetrack to keep the heat on the pavement. These cars obviously build up a lot of heat underneath those race cars, so they're hoping this light rain shower, you see the umbrellas coming out, won't be a factor and delay the action tonight here at Bowman Gray.
You see that blue sky there? I'm keeping some hope there. Mother Nature needs to simmer down. That's what she needs to do. Right now, we've got the vortex that was working earlier, and then, between breaks, that vortex stops. DW, brought that into existence.
You and DW hanging out a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about the vortex here at Bowman Gray. And honestly, wherever you are, I heard Eldora has been having weather problems all over the map, honestly. A lot of weather problems. But that's summer.
Yes.
Summer, as it heats up, the humidity goes crazy. We see a lot of thunderstorms pop up, and that's what we've seen here. And we do have some to the west of us. This, as I look at my radar here on my phone, a very light green little area. So I don't believe that this will be a big factor here, and that's meteorologist Bob giving his own prediction here tonight.
Well, meteorologist JB is saying it's raining right now, but that sunshine that the camera just showed there, I'm going to say there's some hope here, and that's just a little blip on the radar. We're going to get back racing. There's heat in the racetrack. We're going to not lose it, and it's going to be back to racing.
By the way, speaking of people with a lot of style, okay, our counterpart up here in the booth, Justin Mincy, comes up with the best racing shirt of the day. The King, Steve Kinzer, a World of Outlaws shirt with the Quaker State number 11. Gotta love it. He must have got that from Brent Wentz or somebody.
He had to have that. That's a good throwback there. I was more of a Sammy Swindell guy.
Oh, you were you? Slam and Sammy.
Slam and Sammy.
They didn't like each other.
No, they didn't.
No, not at all.
But Sammy never bowed down to that King, that's for sure.
So I want to go back, and we mentioned last week's race here at Bowman Gray Stadium and the rivalry between the 55 of Zach Orr and the 31 of Chase Robertson. But take a look at this. Last year, champion night, they get into it on the racetrack. The 55 goes kind of sailing through the infield here. This is an age-old rivalry over the past year or two. Both of these guys very fast. That's the opener this year, where Zach Orr trying to hold off and does Chase Robertson. And then last week, what's your thoughts?
Oh, man, last week, like I said, Zach Orr told me a couple of weeks before, I'm going to have to put the bumper to Chase. He did just that, but it backfired on him, unfortunately. It costed him a little bit of the points, but the win. And wins matter here.
Yeah, you can see those emotions riding over into the pit area. But I really think if you take a look at this, Chase Robertson and Zach Orr. Zach maybe a little bit more aggressive than Chase Robertson, but it was Robertson really getting into Zach Orr into turn number 1. And then Zach Orr, I don't believe, meant to hit Chase Robertson in turn 3. It looks like he was going to try to do the crossover and get underneath him, but Robertson was hard on the brakes.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Chase Robertson and both Zach Orr are just legends here in the making. And right now, Chase Robertson going into the corner, he, rode on the brake a little bit because he knew Zach was going to come back down and try that crossover, and it actually cost both of them. And they were heading straight toward that Kogart-Tollett corner over there that I talked into the existence.
So we have a little bit of a rain delay here in Truliant Night of Destruction at Bowman Gray Stadium. Not only will we see the normal great racing, we saw A.J. Sanders win feature number 1 on the night in the stadium stocks, but tonight we'll also see monster trucks and a demo derby. I saw Full Bore down there earlier. Are you ready to get in one of those monster trucks?
I would
Maybe
love
bring
to.
out your wrestling once again.
I might get out the baby hole and try to squeeze in there.
Oh, please don't mention that.
No, I'm ready for some monster trucks. They're going to bring some entertainment tonight. There's one thing for sure: if this does not get in, those monster trucks will still come out here. I've been out here many times where it's raining and they bring them out here for the fans.
And you can see the monster trucks in the pit area.
Look at
there
that.
is one of them. Bad news going to be rocking the infield here at the Madhouse a little bit later on tonight. We'll keep an eye on this rain that's just sprinkling down here at Bowman Gray Stadium, but we'll take a quick break and we'll update you when we come back.
And do what they do best. Madhouse. Got a little sour. Are you ready for some monster truck car racing? They can hear you back in the pit. Full Bore, driven by Ed Eckert. And Bad News Travels Fast, driven by Brendan Darrow. Always put on a great show. Let me get a word here with our chief flagman, Randy Smith. Randy, I saw you out there earlier. Is yours the first or second car in line? It's actually the third one, I think. I thought Chris Carter said the third was his. Well, it had to arm wrestled Chris Carter for it, so I won my call. Okay, well, yeah, you won for right now. I don't know if you're a winner in a few minutes, though. It's about to go on a dive. Okay, gotcha. Maybe you can go to True Line and get you a loan at 2% discount for another car. I think True Line already financed it for me. Gotcha. Randy Smith, Chief Flagman, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to commence with the Monster Truck Car Crushing.
Welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium, night 11 of NASCAR racing here at this famed oval. But right now, we do have track drying going underway. Some rain has come down. It's lightened up a little bit, but we're expecting the monster trucks to come on the racetrack and go to the infield here momentarily. Just to paint the scene for you out here on the racetrack, there are, 6 white old cars from the junkyard that they have lined up in the infield. And I imagine, JB, that we're going to see some monster trucks crush these cars momentarily.
Now, wait a minute. I recognize that one. That's Matt. That's your brother's car.
Oh,
did you do that?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Does he know?
He's at a family reunion.
Oh my gosh. I knew I recognized that car.
Yeah.
That's brotherly love right there.
Yeah, I think I had one like that back in the day. I had a 1988, I believe, Olds Cutlass 4-door.
Oh, wow.
I got it for like $1,000 and it only had 20,000 miles on it.
I bet. Gas was what, $1.92 then?
Oh, yeah, gas is, I got a diesel. So,
ooh, yeah.
It's kind of crazy right now. But we do have the track drying going on, and we are expecting those monster trucks to come out momentarily. We have not seen them fire in the pit area just yet, but their fans are still here. They're waiting things out. They're going over to get themselves, and I got to mention this because my brother would be mad at me if I didn't. They're probably going over and getting some little donuts, some S&P lemonade, who knows what flavor, and maybe some, kettle corn, and they have all sorts of things here. Domino's Pizza, you name it. We had some little donuts a little earlier. That's why you're all jacked up.
We sure did. And I noticed that there was more here than usual. But then I forgot. Well, Matt's not here.
That's right.
I miss him as much as I do a toothache. But take a look at these Madhouse maniacs that came out tonight. Oh, as the lights start going, we're getting ready for monster trucks.
Look to the pit area.
Oh,
we
got
see
movement
to our left.
I
believe
movement.
That's full bore.
That's full bore. But look at these Madhouse maniacs that came out here, even against Mother Nature, to see the monster trucks and see the madness that is the Madhouse.
And a great move here tonight to keep things flowing at Bowman Gray Stadium. Greg Garrison, Austin Shuford, getting the monster trucks out there to keep the fans happy. It wasn't supposed to happen for a while, but now they're in the infield, and the first one up, full bore. And remember, I'm going to channel my inner Monster Jam from years ago when I did Monster Jam for Fox Sports. These things are unbelievable. And the guys that wheel these, the guys and gals that do, they are pure athletes. Their body takes a lot of abuse.
You got to think how high that truck gets up in the air, and then it has to come back crashing down. You got to be fit to take that.
Bad News travels first, full bore up next, hits the gas, gets airborne with all 4 wheels.
Madhouse maniacs are eating this up. All the kids around here loving it.
You can see the lady to the right here. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what they're doing.
She's going to need oxygen.
Absolutely. Bad News travels fast, ripping over those cars. My poor brother's car is crushed already.
He's going to miss that. I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, why not? He gets paid the big bucks. He can afford another.
Exactly.
So you can see those trucks sliding on the infield a little bit as well with the wet grass here. Another attempt for Bad News travels fast. Just enough. I want to see him launch them in the infield here. There we go. Full bore, starting to get it done with a little wheel stand coming off of it as well.
Trying to see which one can get the most air out of the two here. And speaking of out in the air, the rain has stopped, so that's good. I've got faith. Keeping the hope.
Look, you talk about shocks on these NASCAR modifieds and stuff. Look at the shock setup underneath the wheel wells of both of these trucks. It's what, 4 shocks on each corner of these trucks.
Oh, yeah. They're built tough, that's for sure. Which one? Let's see. Is both of them Fords? I'm a Chevy guy. Okay, we got the Chevy back there in the back.
I'm a Ford guy.
I'm a Chevy guy.
F-250 here.
Oh, we're going head-to-head.
Oh, look out!
The Chevy got higher.
That's a picture.
The Chevrolet got higher. It's got more horsepower. I don't care what you say.
Oh, you got to love it. Bringing back the old school Ford-Chevy debate. And then Dodge coming back into the fray in NASCAR.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yes. Love it. Should say Ram, right?
Ram.
Yes. Whoa. Look at the metal and the glass just getting ripped apart on those cars in the infield.
I wonder if we'll have any cars look like that later on in the modified race.
You never know.
I mean, Mike Speeney's out there.
Yeah. And the Myers family is out there. Speeney and the Myers don't get along too well this year.
Who does?
Anybody does.
Who does get along with Mike?
That's right. Chris Fleming protesting Burt Myers earlier this year. Tim Brown probably going to be crabby until he gets a win. You know, I mean, it's just the name of the game here.
That's the Madhouse for you.
That's right.
Come on, Chevrolet. Watch his Chevy. Watch his power.
Where was it?
What? Come on, man. That's what I do with little Hadley at home. She's like, I got muscles. I'm like, well, let's see it. She's flexing her arm out. I'm like, well, go ahead. Where is it at?
You've been a busy guy here today as we watch these trucks, the monster trucks on True Lion, Night of Destruction at Bowman Gray. But before coming here, you had a pair of ball games to attend.
Yeah. Paisley had her volleyball game today. She performed excellent. We're very proud of her. She had 2 games today. She's tough.
We say hello to the girls, including Whitney, at home watching here tonight. Bad News Travel Fast almost got into one of the safety trucks, doing some donuts here on the front stretch of Bowman Gray.
The safety crew down there got to change their shorts after that. It scared them, made them jump. I wouldn't want to wear white pants down there, that's for sure.
Where did Full Bore go?
That's the
Chevy
Ford.
won.
The Ford broke. I told you. The Ford broke. Chevrolet's taking the victory lap. There you go, like a rock.
Typical Mr. Speculation. You don't know.
There's no speculation.
That Full Bore broke. He drove back to the pits.
It's a Ford found on road dead. Or forget outrunning Dale.
First on race day.
No.
Oh, gosh.
Chevy for the win. It's going to be a good night. There's no rain. We got Chevrolet on top. Crowd's going wild. Madhouse Maniacs.
Look at them. They are going nuts. For Bad News Travels Fast with Brandon behind the wheel of this one, tracking that truck down the front stretch into turn number 1. Imagine if Burt Myers had that set up.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about him. Who would be the holder of the keys of the house of the Madhouse?
That's right.
That's forceful taking right there.
And these trucks, they can steer with both the front and the rear, and that's what makes them special. I would have loved to have seen that truck try to make it into that pit exit in turn number 3. That might have been a tight squeeze.
That would have been a tight squeeze right there, and he's going to make it inside there. Good run, Chevrolet. We appreciate you, buddy.
So your Chevrolet beats the Ford here during monster truck action at Bowman Gray Stadium. With that in mind, I think it's time to take another quick break here. You lose it to Bad News, and that's what Full Bore did here tonight at the Madhouse. Still trying to dry this track, still tracking some weather to the west, but we have the intent of racing the entire card here tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium. We'll be back.
Madhouse fans, here's just a moment. We're going to have an opportunity to talk to the drivers of those 2 monster trucks, Full Bore driven by Ed Eckert, and Bad News Travel Fast driven by Brandon Grove. race fans, if you have a blue ticket, 013524. 013524. Please report to the bottom of the tower here, below the press box. Once again, blue ticket 013524. Randy Williams, can you remember those numbers? 013524. You are a winner of, I don't know. Yeah, I remember the number. 013524. Bring that ticket and yourself right behind the press box over here on the west side of the stadium. Pretty important.
Still under a rain delay for NASCAR racing at Bowman Gray Stadium on night number 11 of the 2025 season. You see all the safety trucks going around this racetrack. We just saw monster trucks in the infield crush some cars, and right now we are still trying to get this track dry. But this week has been difficult as well. We lost a veteran, a pioneer, a legend of our sport at 95 years old. Rex White, 28 wins in NASCAR Premier Series, 7 wins here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
From 1959 to 1963, Rex White won more races in his gold number 4 Chevy than such NASCAR legends as Lee Petty, Junior Johnson, and Fireball Roberts.
If he went to a racetrack, he was the man to beat.
You better have your act together, because if you didn't, he's going to beat you.
I thought, man, that's the best short track racer I've ever seen. I mean, he was good.
White gets the checkered flag.
Throughout his career, Rex White embodied consistency, hard work, and determination like no other driver of his era. One day, while working at a Maryland gas station, White noticed a billboard advertising local racing. It was that poster which would change his life.
So I got up enough money and went to Lanham Speedway to the race. And the first car that I ever seen go around the racetrack, I told my wife, I said, that's what I'd like to do.
Working on a shoestring budget, White moved to Spartanburg, South Carolina, where he teamed up with Louis Clements, and soon he was on his way.
Rex didn't compete for a powerhouse team. It was his own equipment.
He had built race cars for himself, so he knew what it took to make the car feel the way that he needed for it to feel.
A true independent, White's career was a model of consistency as he dominated the short tracks throughout the Premier Series circuit.
Back then, we didn't have that many super speedways, and Rex, at that time, he was known to be a short track driver.
Nobody could beat him on a half a mile.
He based his career on how consistent he could be.
In order to finish first you got to finish. It don't matter how much you lead it. What they put in the book afterwards is the guy that won the race.
White's best season came in 1960. That year, he dominated the circuit, winning 6 races, scoring 35 top 10s, and running away with the Premier Series title.
Please welcome 2015 NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee, Rex White.
In 2015, White received the sport's ultimate honor when he was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And in 2023, as part of NASCAR's 75th anniversary celebration, White was recognized as one of the sport's 75 greatest drivers. Though his Hall of Fame career only lasted 9 seasons, Rex White won 28 times, captured 36 poles, and finished in the top 10 an amazing 70% of his races.
He was a hard driver. He was a hard charger, but he was as fair as anybody that you'd ever want to race against.
He could do some things that you just wouldn't believe possible, you know. Just a good all-around competitor.
Rex was, I'd say, one of the top drivers of NASCAR of all time.
of James River Equipment. You are the winner. What do you think about that? Top to a true line time of destruction. You going home with a John Deere riding back. That's pretty awesome, man. Thank you so much. Chris, come right over here. Chris Walker with James River Equipment. Chris, we always appreciate James River Equipment, their sponsorship of Bowman Gray Stadium Racing. He came to a night of destruction. He's going home with a John Deere riding mower. Congratulations. Unfortunately, it seems like just about every year we give the mower away. We get a little bit of surprise from above. So hope it's not bad luck during the race. Well, Chris, thank you once again. I know they want to get you right over here, all three of you. So our track photographer, Eric Tesser, can get a picture of the winners. How about a big Bowman Gray congratulations to Mr. Pendleton, the winner.
Beautiful skies overhead of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Winston-Salem has been so important to the history of NASCAR racing here in the state of North Carolina. Tonight here at Bowman Gray Stadium, the safety truck still going around this racetrack. But what I like is I see some gray. I see some clear skies over towards Winston-Salem. So Bob Dillner, Jeff Bunton in the booth tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium. You've been here forever. The fans are still here. They're waiting on racing. I think we're going to see it in a little while.
There's no more passionate race fans than right here at the Madhouse, and that's the Madhouse Maniacs. They've got hope. We've got hope. There's clear sky off in the distance. I believe we're going to see us a good show tonight.
And did you know you can actually win a lawn tractor here tonight? One lucky fan will do so. I watched that. Actually, somebody just did, I believe, in the infield, or at least they're about to give it away. Taylor is down there on the John Deere. I've seen that John Deere the last couple of weeks parked up in between 1 and 2, and now Taylor is on that and going to present the winner's certificate and that tractor to one lucky fan here tonight.
Well, he could come on down to Walnut Cove and mow my yard, because I'm a little bit behind with all the rain that we've been having. Nice and green.
I've had no problem with mine.
I bet you haven't, Mountain Man. You up there in the drive.
No. It's been very, very wet. We are thankful for that, because obviously it's hot, and Taylor doing a good job. Maybe she should get behind the wheel of one of these sportsman cars here tonight if anybody needs a fill-in, because she's driving that John Deere to perfection.
She can give Chrissy Wallace a run for her money maybe in the street stock.
Chrissy Wallace, yep, the daughter of Mike Wallace, NASCAR, ARCA, trucks, you name it. One of the St. Louis Wallace brothers. It was nice to have Mike up here in the booth a few weeks back and just chat with him a little bit. And then he jinxed the night, and we got rained out as soon as he got to the booth. But maybe, we're hearing some talk that Mike Wallace might run a race car sometime here at Bowman Gray Stadium. That would be fun.
Now, we're all about characters, and Mike is a character, but could you imagine his brother and him? And I'm not talking about Rusty. When you talk about characters of the Wallace family, could you imagine Herm? Kenny?
Yes.
Here? Oh, my gosh.
Kenny
I'd pay to see that.
I would. Put him in maybe some of the Staley cars, and put Chrissy out there with them.
That's a mix. Put all the Wallaces out there. That'd be awesome.
That would be a lot of fun. But these fans are so devoted here. You can see they're not bothered one bit by this delay. Some of them are up in the cool midway that they have at Bowman Gray Stadium, but others just waiting things out, betting probably on which safety vehicle is going to win that type of race, going around trying to dry this track. I remember back in the day sitting up at Islip and Riverhead Raceways with my brother, and we would do anything we could during a rain delay. Pick which truck we like best, going around drying the track. Who knows what? Just to be enthusiastic about the return of racing.
Absolutely. Me and my buddy used to call the actual race that was happening in the race with the safety trucks. We were just that bored. But no, these fans here, they're so passionate. They get behind their favorite driver here. You won't find any of them like this anywhere else. I mean, they get behind their driver and they say, they're the best out here. My driver's the best. Well, even if their driver stole a piece of candy out of a baby's hand, that fan would say, oh, no, he just saved him from having a cavity. that's the Madhouse Maniac here at Bowman Gray.
We see some of the toughest racers in the business come here to this racetrack, and we're going to see it again next February at this racetrack for the second straight year. Yes, the Cookout Clash will return to Bowman Gray Stadium in 2026. Go to NASCARclash.com/waitlist to get on that wait list. September 19th is the key date here. Everybody that had a ticket last year will be able to renew their tickets, but on September 19th, they'll unleash the fury of allowing other people to come and buy the remaining tickets. So the NASCAR Clash returning to the Madhouse again in 2026.
That is the hot ticket now in all of NASCAR. I remember when Bristol used to be 5 years in advance you had to get a ticket. Now this is the new one. This is the hot ticket at Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse.
And everybody in this region and from all over the country, wherever they came from, truly supported that race. And nobody knew what to expect with the NASCAR Clash. But as you talk to Chase Elliott, you talk to a lot of the drivers, they had themselves a blast. And what I think was great about it, the best moment, I believe, in the Clash last year was when Burt Myers and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got into it going into turn number 1. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had never been booed more.
No, never been booed more, never seen that many fingers. Many birds.
And they weren't the number 1 finger.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
Welcome to Myers country right here at Bowman Gray, that's for sure. He found that out. I think Burt had a case of Sunny D delivered to his house the next morning.
Ricky was a good sport about it. We actually spoke to him up at App State. They have a racing show, a racing radio show, and I helped the students bring Ricky on that show. And he truly said, I cannot believe how many people in that grandstand hated me after that. And you know, he felt bad, but at the same time, I mean, it's Bowman Gray. It's what happens.
That's Bowman Gray racing. You come across someone's nose, you're going to end up in the grass.
Exactly. So we see right now the sportsman cars being lined back up on the racetrack. We appear to be going back to racing momentarily. Then the NASCAR Sportsman class will run a pair of twin 20s here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup one more time because a lot of time has passed by since we gave it to you initially. On the point for this one will be the number 8 of Kyler Kempley, the dog, who's had a very difficult year. And on the outside, you got to love nicknames, Kid Dynamite, the 97 of Justin Cummings.
Justin Cummings with a beautiful race car. On the second row here, we've got car number 15 of T. Dawson. On the outside of him is the Rockstar, 03 of Sterling Clemens.
Marty Wilmoth out of Elkin, North Carolina, scheduled to start 5th. And then last week's winner starting 6th, the 38 of Mitch Gales.
Next row, you'll have Jeff Snowden, car number 77. On the outside of him is Nate Gregg in the car number 28.
Row number 5 is strong. So strong, it's donkey strong on the inside, the number 12 of Justin Taylor. And then Dylan Ward, who's oh so good here at Bowman Gray, subbing for Robertson.
Starting 11th in car number 63 is Terry Smith. On the outside of him in the car number 14 is Jim Schoaf.
The points championship all wrapped up into row number 7. On the inside, the 55 of Zach Orr, second in points. And then the point leader, the 31 of Chase Robertson, alongside starts 14th.
Starting 15th in car number 40 is Hunter York. Outside of him is Hero to Zero, Kurt Sheets.
And rounding out the field, and if anybody can get to the front, this guy can. The 21 of Tommy Neal, 55 wins by virtue of that victory 1 week ago.
Tiger Tommy Neal, legend here in the sportsman division. A character, one of the characters here at the Madhouse. You don't want to see them claws come out, that's for sure.
Getting ready to go double file here for the start of this race. We're told 1 to go before we get back to racing. So, number 1, hats off to the entire staff here at Bowman Gray Stadium. They have survived now 3 rain periods here today, and we are still racing in Winston-Salem.
With a great crowd as we see 1 to go, you're going to have to think, this has done changed. Their mindset in these drivers right now, they know weather's in the area. They're going to race each lap like it's the last.
Quick note, Justin Cummings, T. Dawson, Marty Wilmoth going to the rear of the field. That moves Donkey Strong up to the inside of the second row, and Mitch Gales on the outside. Gales fires, Kempley doesn't. I think we're going to see that one come back.
Right.
Yes.
Yep, caution's out. That was not a good start at all. It looked like Kepley might have been sleeping, but Mitch Gales, he's excited from last week.
Come on, he was not sleeping. He saw Mitch Gales get out in front, and he was playing the cat and mouse game a little bit.
Are you saying there's mind games already being played?
I'm
Here?
saying there's always games being played.
Oh,
here.
yeah, absolutely. As soon as you walk in that back gate back there.
So Kepley will get back to the inside. I'm sure both of those drivers given a little warning. We'll see what happens here on this next restart. Light still on top of the pace car here at Bowman Gray Stadium, so it does not appear like we're going to green this next time by.
Now, Kyler Kepley, he's trying to get his first win of his career, but Mitch Gales, he just had his last week, so Mitch knows what that feels like.
By the way, by virtue of several of those drivers going to the rear, how about Zach Orr moving up to the inside of row number 3 here? So the 55, row number 3 on the inside, and the next row on the outside will be Chase Robertson, right alongside of Tommy Neal.
And there is some history there. And you think Tiger Tommy Neal's going to let him inside? No, sir.
No. Tommy's a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to mess with Tommy Neal.
No, sir. He'll get them claws out as he come here to the green.
There's Chase Robertson on the outside of the 21 of Tommy Neal. Green flag coming out. Mitch Gales, better start this time. Kepley slips the tires a little bit coming to the flag.
Kepley did not get a good start at all. Donkey Strong went by him. He's on the bottom of Nate Gregg as they go into turn 3 and 4. Mitch Gales with a comfortable lead.
Yeah, Taylor and Gregg going at it for second. And then you have Zach Orr in the middle of the racetrack trying to hold off Dylan Ward and the 8 of Kepley. Orr now to the bottom. Gregg wraps the back bumper there of Taylor.
Orr's got 3 cars between him and Chase Robertson. As the caution's out, we got the 63 in the Kogar Tullet corner. I'll get it out.
You crack me up. I love working with you, JB. A lot of fun here. We're definitely missing James Pike as well as Matthew Dillner up here in the booth. But they called in the relievers here. Sterling Plemons, by the way, went to the pits. Possible transmission problems we're hearing on that 03 car. So tough night maybe to be a rock star.
Tough night to be a rock star. Tough night to be that 63 there of Terry Smith. But right now, talking about our points race that we've got in our rivalry, Zach Orr has got 2 cars between him and Chase Robertson. Zach Orr sitting in a comfortable 4th position.
Mitch Gales, 7 wins in the sportsman class. He picked up that 7th victory last week here at Bowman Gray Stadium. He has been very good this year, and he's solidly in the top 5 in points.
Mitch Gales leading the point and bringing the field around to get the green. Donkey Strong's going to be strong right here.
Look at Gregg in that 3rd spot as well. Taylor tries to get the inside run on Gales, can't get it done. Will he lay a bumper on him? We know Gregg will lay the bumper on Taylor for sure.
Donkey Strong's got a better car. It looks like keeping that on the bottom. Mitch Gales is pushing up high. He's leaving too much room right there, Bob.
Single file, 1st through 7th. The calm before the proverbial storm here, just 3 laps in.
3 laps on the board, and Mitch Gales, he's pushing in the corner, but he's got good drive off. But right now, Donkey Strong's got Nate Gregg all in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, those rear tires on Taylor's machine in second, just slipping, coming up off the corner, and that's where Gales gets to extend his lead just ever so slightly.
The drive off is where it's at, and right now, Donkey Strong does not have that, as Nate Gregg is beating on the back bumper of Donkey Strong.
Yeah, Nate Gregg, nothing wrong with wrapping the back bumper of Taylor's number 12. Now Gregg kind of slowing down the process a little bit, but Taylor's been struggling, almost stopping that car in the center of the corner.
6 laps on the board. Mitch Gales has got it on cruise control. I'm amazed how that car's getting around here, but like I said, drive off is important, and he's got it. Right now, Donkey Strong's got a little bit distance between him and Nate Gregg for 3rd.
No chances being taken so far by anybody in that top 7. Big surprise so far. Not very aggressive racing, at least not yet, as we're approaching the halfway point in this race. But remember, all of these drivers have to run 2 races here tonight.
Everybody's playing it safe. That is very surprising in this first sportsman event of the night. Right now, you got Chase Robertson, your points leader, stuck behind Tiger Tommy Neal. Tiger Tommy Neal's not handling as great as what Chase Robertson's car is doing, and Chase is giving them the bumper coming off the corner.
And you can learn a lot by listening as well. We hear these cars on the throttle. off the throttle.
Oh, Chase got into Tiger.
Rolling in the center of the corner, and there is Tommy Neal going to the inside down the back stretch. So, oh boy, you mentioned that rivalry between them. Halfway through this one, and Tommy Neal with a little contact with Robertson.
That is not going to play well later on. I'm telling you, just like Brandon Brindle in the Stadium Stock event, he got into someone that may cost him later on. This may cost Chase. Just remember that. Drivers do not forget.
They're like elephants, for sure. Mitch Gales out front by about 4 car lengths over Taylor in the 12. Greg in the 28 is third. Zach Orr in fourth. And Dylan Ward in the 23 is fifth.
Chase Robertson with a little damage there, as you can see on his front bumper, getting into the Tiger Tommy Neal. Tiger Tommy Neal, he's back going. And right now, Chase Robertson, he's sitting there in 6th place.
Yeah, Mitch Gales very strong as of late. Fourth right before the July 4th break, and then a win, a 6th place finish. He's been very strong as of late in that 38 car, as he still has that advantage over Taylor in second. Greg back there as well. I believe, other than that contact between the 21 and the 31, a very clean race so far in this one, with now 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go, and we've seen clean and green right now as Mitch Gales has got a little bit of pressure coming from Donkey Strong. He's going to have a little bit more in front of him as he's got to get around them lap traffic. That might help Donkey Strong.
And the lap traffic gets out of the way right now, so that allows Gales to go by. Smooth sailing for him. I'm sure Taylor was hoping that he would get slowed down just a little bit, but this one, I'm just surprised right now at how much patience everybody's exuding as I say contact between Greg and Taylor goes around to bring out the caution.
Patience went out the window just as you were talking about it. Nate Gregg, he is hungry. Recently just came back from a suspension not long ago, wanting to put his name in the books again as a winner. Donkey Strong's not going to be happy. He's going to be showing them the displeasure.
Look out.
We're going to see a night of destruction again with the hand out the door.
Taylor's got his hand going, what did you do? Greg, I'm sure, maybe showing him some signs back. Who knows? From our vantage point in the booth. But this brings out the NC call 811 before you dig caution.
Greg's got to play nice. He just got back from a suspension, so you won't see much from him. But Donkey Strong, he's playing it cool. I'll give him that. He's just showing him the displeasure, not tearing up anybody's equipment.
And no matter who was at fault, okay, if you think about it, usually the car that gets hit always assumes it's the person behind him that's at fault. Was Greg underneath him enough? Was he not? You know, that's all debatable. But Taylor going up and showing his displeasure, okay, but here we go. Greg tried to get to the inside, but you saw Taylor already coming down the back, and it looks like a shot to the back bumper of that car that put him around.
He wasn't on the inside. He was still at the rear of the car, and he said, bump, and he ran.
But at the same time, you're hard on the brakes. That car maybe a little bit lighter in the back end. A little tap there will send a car around pretty easily. Back to green we go. Mitch Gales out front.
Should see a green-white checkered here, and he's got Nate Gregg beating on the back bumper trying to get by Mitch Gales at 38. He puts it on the inside. He gives him the bumper. He gets on the inside of Mitch Gales coming out of 4. They see the white flag, and they're even at the line.
Greg moved him. Mitch Gales hanging tough on the outside. Here comes Zach Orr. Zach Orr is not done. Kind of gets sideways coming off the corner. Nate Gregg out front as the battle ensues for second. Contact there, but it's Nate Gregg picking up the checkered flag at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Congrats to Nate Gregg in the car number 28, but Mitch Gales gets second place with Zach Orr third, and guess who was sitting fourth behind Zach Orr? Chase Robertson. So Zach Orr didn't get much ahead in the points or an advantage or anything closer to Chase Robertson. Chase Robertson's got Zach in his crosshairs.
Third career victory for Nate Gregg at Bowman Gray Stadium, and the NASCAR sportsman, he grabs the checkered flag and will celebrate tonight. Impressive run, but I'm sure Justin Taylor not going to be a big Nate Gregg fan here tonight. He, I'm sure, frustrated after the two made contact there with just a few laps to go. But Nate Gregg, honestly, a very patient race for the most part until that contact, and then took advantage of some opportunities late in this race.
You hit the nail on the head, and you know what the beauty is about tonight? There's another sportsman race. It's going to lead into the next race. You watch.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the invert is here as well. But Nate Gregg, his team, his family coming down to victory lane, victorious tonight here in Winston-Salem.
Start and how the field will be inverted in the second 20-lapper tonight. Keep your eyes on the video board. The Elite Underground Utility Madhouse Scramble Redraw. Nate Gregg draws 16th. Nate, we got a quick moment. Sorry to be quick on this. Win number 3 in your career. Tell me really quickly, what did you and Justin Taylor discuss right there?
I don't know what he's all mad about. He drags break in front of everybody every week, and I just ain't the one to put up with it. But more importantly, I got to thank my sponsors, Privacy Suspense Solutions, Kipper Enterprise, Site Smell Roofing, Quality Towing, and Greg's Old Lexington.
Nate, congratulations. Picks up his win in the first.
So congratulations to Nate Gregg, victorious for the first time this year in the NASCAR Sportsman class at Bowman Gray Stadium. The Mighty Modifieds up next here at Bowman Gray. It's modified time at Bowman Gray Stadium. The car's already rolling, so let's get to the starting lineup. On the point, and all of these cars lined up by virtue of points, no qualifying here today. Brandon Ward, with 2 wins to his credit in the 0-4, will lead the field to the green flag with Mike Spini and his 3 wins in that 10 car alongside the front row.
Next row in the car number 1 is the ace, Burt Myers. On the outside of him is the Rocket in the 83 of Tim Brown.
A lot of wins out of row number 3, starting 5th to 75 for Lee Jeffries, a 29-time winner, and the 16 of Chris Fleming. He's won 19 times here at Bowman Gray.
Next row is someone that's looking for his first win is car number 07 of Riley Neal. Outside of him is car number 5 of Randy Butner.
Starting ninth in the number 4 car, the working man, Jason Myers. Alongside of him, a couple of top 5s for this driver. In the number 9, it's Kyle Southern.
Next row in the 00 is Danny Probst. Outside of him is number 6 of Slate Myers.
Starting lucky number 13, the 51 of Junior Snow, with 1 win to his credit this year. And then Ethan Truel in the Big B Coffee car.
Next row in the car number 44 is Daniel Beeson. On the outside of him in the White Lightning is in the car number 79 of the Hillbillies machine of Ryan Flores.
17th here tonight, Crab Smith in the number 99 car. To his outside, the 39 of Gerald Robinson Jr.
Next row in the car number 77 is Susan Harwell. On the outside of him in car number 3 of Andrew Hara.
21st starting spot here tonight belongs to the 12 of Dean Ward. Brandon Butner in the 35 and 22nd.
Next row in the car number 7 of Connor Branch. Outside of him in car number 88 is Johnny Murdoch.
Starting 25th, Corey Levitt in the number 11 car. And then the 53 Puddin' Swishers car with John Smith making a return to racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Brody Jones in the 92 rounds out the field. Good field of 27 modifieds on hand here tonight. Definitely among the tops in regards to modified racing weekly action around the country. And by the way, Brandon Ward in that 04 that will lead the field to the green flag in this first of the Twin 25s. 3rd place in the NASCAR weekly national points right now. So he's having himself a very good year.
He is definitely having a good year, and he's also first in points here with only ahead by 30 on Mike Speeney. So this is going to be a very interesting one of 2 25-lap modified events.
And then, of course, we'll find out how many invert at the end of this race. A little dew on our tower window here, so you have a much better view than we do. I can guarantee you that right now. Humidity, number 1 here. First of Twin 25s for the NASCAR Modifieds, Brandon Ward and Mike Speeney on the front row.
Best start of the season for them two right there is right now Mike Speeney's got Burt Myers on the inside of him battling for second. He does not want Myers to get ahead of us. They get together. They get together.
History between those two in one race. Mike Speeney had made contact with all 3 of the Myers family that races in NASCAR modified competition about 2 months ago. Well, Burt Myers makes contact with Speeney down in turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap, and Speeney up to the wall.
This right here is going to be very interesting. Mike Speeney's right front is cleaned right off, and he is not happy.
No, Mike Speeney, I'm sure a little bit frustrated. QRC, HVAC, and refrigeration on the side of that race car. He climbs out. You see the right front suspension that's broken. They'll have to get that repaired. But Speeney comes into this race second in the point standings, just 10 points ahead of 3rd place man Burt Myers. Those two making contact on the opening lap.
Mike Speeney with one phenomenal season just came to a crashing halt here with only a handful of races left of the season. Burt Myers getting into Mike Speeney, going into 3, sending him into the wall, cleaning that right front off. Like I said, this place has been built on rivalries. That's what built this foundation of Bowman Gray Stadium. Let's take a look.
First look here, Burt Myers goes in, and if you look, I will say Burt Myers, his wheels were down on the grass going into turn number 3. So want to take a look at that again. You see Mike Speeney looking at the field and points at Burt Myers. He says, "You got one coming." I think that's what that sign language was.
That is definitely a very upset driver. Like I said, Mike Speeney with a phenomenal season. Second in points, 30 behind.
Let's take a look at number 2.
Mike's telling officer, you better get some backup.
With me.
You better get some backup.
Let's take a look at this. And Myers goes down there and does get into the grass. So Speeney knew all the contact he made with the Myers family a couple of months ago here during feature racing action. He might be thinking, hey, Burt took me out. He purposely drove me up the racetrack. I will say what I saw there was Burt Myers was down in the infield and maybe couldn't get that car turned. And we'll talk about that in a second, but want to mention Tim Brown, too, just finished outside the top 5 last week in that 100-lapper. A little bit of a winless streak for him right now. 21 races in all. Not his longest winless streak. That dates back a couple of years ago to 32 races before he won again. 101 wins in his career for the Rocket, Tim Brown.
Tim Brown is hungry for that win. And tonight you may end up seeing him doing some battling up there, but it's going to be tough.
So Speeney's car goes off the racetrack. That team's going to have a little mad dash now to get the right front. They have all the supplies. And, just to add to everything with that rivalry between Speeney and the Myers bunch, remember, QRC, they sponsored Jason Myers' car last year. Now it's on the side of the Speeney machine.
Well, Mike Speeney's hit Jason so hard, his sponsor jumped off of his car onto his. So, I mean, you got to think. There's history there with Mike hitting everything over here but the pace car. He gets into the Myers' last week, and you have to think, was that intentional from Burt?
That was a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. You got to think, was that intentional from Burt? That's between Burt and the big man upstairs and Mike Speeney. And I'm telling you, Mike Speeney is going to end up, this is going to bowl over into the second event if they're able to get that car fixed.
Hey, listen. Brandon Ward and he raced very aggressively together. We saw it last week. And we called Mike Speeney the Bulldog because of how he plowed by Brandon Ward. They continue, no problem. They're friends, and they say hard-fought racing, that is the Madhouse. Burt Myers, Jason Myers, Slate Myers in that one race a few months ago, very frustrated. I spoke to Mike Speeney about it, and he knows that they were frustrated. Let's take a look. We're going to go move the replay a little bit further down the backstretch to kind of get an idea of what happened to Burt Myers. Watch him. He's on the inside of Speeney there. He dives into the corner. Speeney comes down the racetrack, and maybe ever so slightly that one car just dipped his tires off on the inside. What's your take, JB?
Burt Myers knows how to get around this joint. He's been racing over here for 84-some years. So if he got into the grass a little bit, if he bumped tires with Mike Speeney, you saw what we saw.
At least he had a good excuse.
He had a good excuse. He knows how to get around this joint.
So the drama starting on lap number 1 here tonight. Brandon Ward over Lee Jeffries now in that 75 car as we come back to green with NASCAR modified action.
Only 2 laps on the board, and Brandon Ward's got Lee Jeffries behind him, running in second. Speaking of rivalries, there's a little history there as well. There's history between all of them out here, but recently it was Brandon Ward and Lee Jeffries not too long ago.
Well, you look at Burt Myers in third. He's got a little history with the guy that rides fourth through the years, and also this year with Chris Fleming protesting Burt Myers' machine a few races back. Did I see Tim Brown pull off the racetrack? No, I did not. I apologize. Tim Brown still out there. I thought I saw a flash of his car go off the racetrack. But first through fifth right now, Brandon Ward. Then you have Jeffries in second, Burt Myers, Chris Fleming, and then Riley Neal, the real deal, in the fifth spot as a sophomore driver.
He's got a rear view mirror full of Jason Myers as Riley Neal is putting on a good performance right now. But right now you can put a blanket over the top 4 as you see Brandon Ward probably not handling as well as Lee Jeffries. And you got Burt Myers as we got a car. Brody Jones stuck right there off of turn 2.
Yeah, that'll bring out the caution, but we were starting to see a pretty good race for the top 4 out there. They were locked bumper to bumper around this racetrack, but another caution comes out early in this one, just 6 laps complete.
We've got 7 laps on the board, and Brody Jones in that beautiful new red machine there. He's got the winning net down. His night's done. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, bad break for Brody Jones, but I want to get back to Brandon Ward because he is the points leader coming into this race. But he hasn't won since night number 2 of the season here. He's been ultra consistent, but we expected after those 2 wins on the opening nights of the season for him to just really dominate the win column, and he has not been able to do that.
No, but he's been Mr. Consistent, and you've got Burt Myers. He's had 4 wins this season, I believe. And, you know, wins over here does matter to a point, but consistency is what gets you championships over here. And right now, Brandon's been doing that.
And I love what Brandon Ward and this Kevin Powell Racing team are doing. They're really building the entire race team. They have some late model stock cars that they field for people. They have these modifieds. Kevin has aspirations of going into the top tiers of NASCAR someday, and I love Suzuki's part of this team this year, of course. Yakuyu on a 4.1 and iHeartRadio have been part of the race team for Brandon Ward and Kevin Powell for a long time, but they are building an operation, not just a car that runs here at Bowman Gray Weekly.
And their cars and their performance that those cars are showing there at all the racetracks that they're at, they've got 2 in the top 10 of the national points right now, Bob.
Yeah, Trevor Ward having himself a very good year, as is Brandon Ward. No relation there.
I actually gave Trevor the checkers last Saturday at Ace Speedway.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I was just filling in for Brandon Willard. He had a Cars Tour race.
And I saw you looking at what's going on at the Hampton Heat tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, also on Flow Racing. So some great racing action each and every week, no matter where you look around the country on Flow Racing. Certainly one of the best deals in the business for racing enthusiasts around America. Just outside the top 5 right now sits Jason Myers, Kyle Southern in the 7th spot, Danny Probst in the 00, the Flying Taco having a good run, and Junior Snow, by the way, man, he was very, very frustrated last week. Got that win a few weeks ago. Wound up getting that win via some contact with Randy Butner. He said he got paid back last week by Butner. So he said that's been on his mind a little bit, but that car is good to go. He was able to drive back, I believe, to 9th last week. Junior Snow always with a fast race car in that number 51 machine.
Absolutely. He's got a good machine underneath him. Paybacks at the Madhouse? No.
By the way, we talk about the championship battle. 4 times the championship has been won by consistency, with the champion having 0 wins. Tim Brown did it back in 2022. And how about Brandon Ward? When he won the championship a couple of years ago, Justin Mincy, he also had a big 0 in the win column.
As Brandon Ward sees 1 to go, the lights are off the pace car. We're about to go back under green here, Bob.
We've had a few delays for rain here today, but valiantly the track staff has worked hard, and we continue to be racing here. The first of twin 25s for the NASCAR Modified Division, sponsored by Brad Golf Cars. Back to green we go with Brandon Ward in the lead.
Brandon Ward with a good restart. Lee Jeffries, he's still staying on the back bumper of Brandon. Brandon's got good drive off, and we've got Burt Myers in 3rd and Chris Fleming sitting in 4th.
5th place is Riley Neal. It took a couple laps for these guys to get locked in that top 4. Let's see what happens this time. Brandon Ward, a much better run to start off with on this run, but after a couple of laps, that car appears to be a little bit tighter. It doesn't want to turn in the center of the corner.
No, it's bunching up the top 4 right now. Riley Neal's car's not handling as well. He's holding up Jason Myers, but right now you can put a blanket over the top 4 with Brandon Ward leading them.
A wrap tap to the back bumper of Burt Myers goes Chris Fleming. Fleming in 4th in that Jerry Hunt Supercenter machine.
10 laps on the board. They'll be coming over as we got the Taco Man around out of 2, 00 of Danny Probst, bringing out the caution here tonight.
3rd caution early in this race. By the way, for all you Tim Brown fans, he's riding around. Remember, he went to the pit area early, is riding around outside the top 10 right now. So at least for this particular one, with such a short distance, it doesn't look like that 21 race winless streak is going to be snapped in this particular race. So
no.
we'll see.
He's hoping for a good draw for the next race and get a good starting position.
But he's 15th right now. He's got to get up at least to 12, I believe, right? It's 16. Every track you go to, a little bit different. So maybe Tim hoping for a good starting spot in that second of the twin 25s.
11 laps on the board, and Tim Brown sitting there behind Slate Myers. When we go back to green, I believe you're going to see Tim try to use that bumper to get a few more positions.
Slate Meyer is a busy schedule for him right in front of Tim Brown there in that 6 machine. Slate Meyer is not only in his sophomore season here, but also a Rookie of the Year contender in the Smart Modified Tour. Smart Modified Tour takes most of the summer off because they honor the racing here for the NASCAR Modifieds at Bowman Gray Stadium. They will return to action Labor Day weekend after the season ends here with a beach clash with Carteret and New River All-American Speedway August 29th and 30th, a Friday and Saturday show.
Back-to-back events there. I hope he eats his Wheaties for that one. That's going to be a good one.
And it's hot as heck down there by the coast of North Carolina. But here, hot night as well. But perseverance by everybody at Bowman Gray Stadium has made the fans happy here tonight. Brandon Ward sets the tone, 11 laps in. Lee Jeffries in second, Burt Myers in third as we come back to the restart.
Good start by Brandon Ward, and Riley Neal gets a little bit of shove from Jason Myers. Again, it's not handling as well, and he gets the boot there, but Brandon Ward back up front has Lee Jeffries bearing down on that back bumper.
Yeah, Lee Jeffries was looking to the inside of the Q104.1 machine for Brandon Ward. Could not get there just yet. These cars are so fast here. You have to have the setup dialed in to make it work. Halfway through the first of the NASCAR Modified main events at Bowman Gray.
If you see right here, you've got the top 4 that's got distance between them and Riley Neal. Riley Neal's car is not handling as well, keeping Jason, as Jason looks on the outside. Riley lets him go. That's probably the smart thing to do. Settle in behind him, try to get a car up underneath him, and try to get that thing around here. As we go back up front, Brandon Ward leading.
Brandon Ward in the lead, Lee Jeffries in second, Burt Myers right there in third, Fleming in fourth. They are now how we expected them after a couple of green flag laps to be, right there together. And I really believe no car is much better than the other. It's going to take a wrap to the back bumper to move somebody to get a position.
Somebody's going to have to use that chrome horn here at the Madhouse if they want to get by one another. They got lap traffic right ahead as they see Crab Smith up ahead in the 99. Brandon Ward is probably going to get a shot from the back from Lee Jeffries when he gets up on that lap traffic.
Remember, Crab Smith, teammate with fourth place running, Chris Fleming. Here they come up upon the 99 of Crab Smith. They'll probably get him going into turn number 3. No, they're going to get him here down coming off of turn number 2. It was not that long, but Brandon Ward trying to be calculated around some of the slower cars right now.
He's got Crab Smith that he's got in a headlock right now. Crab Smith's not making it any easier as Lee Jeffries is trying to take advantage of this.
Lee Jeffries tiptoes on the outside. So does Burt Myers. Chris Fleming going to follow suit as well. Brandon Ward trying to hold on. Lee Jeffries just a little bit better than the car in front of him. That 75 car can turn in the center of the corner and get a little bit of run up off, but it appears like Brandon Ward about quarter of the way down the straightaway able to get that power connected just a little bit better.
He's got that drive off as we look at it. Less than 5 laps to go. They still got one more piece of lap traffic left of Gerald Robertson in car number 39 as they come up on him coming out of 4. Right now, Brandon Ward, he doesn't have Lee Jeffries bearing down on his back bumper quite as much as he has, so Lee Jeffries might be losing a little bit.
And we saw a little bit of this, the calmness in the sportsman class with the twin features. These guys do have to save their stuff as well for that second feature.
23 laps on the board. He'll come back around. Will we see Brandon get the white or will we see Lee Jeffries? Gerald Robertson gives the old courtesy move over. Brandon Ward comes around. He'll see the white flag in the air.
Brandon Ward has done so well over the course of time here at Bowman Gray Stadium, extending that lead right now over Lee Jeffries and Burt Myers. Brandon Ward, his 3rd win of the year and 15th of his career at Bowman Gray Stadium.
I can hear crazy Kevin Powell from here. He's just enjoying himself tonight as they get a win tonight in the first modified event. Lee Jeffries pulling up beside Brandon there, getting him the thumbs up. Respect there.
Absolutely. Burt Myers in 3rd, 4th, Chris Fleming, and 5th, Jason Myers. And now we're going to see with the Madhouse Scramble. How many are going to get inverted here? As we mentioned, Brandon Ward gets his 15th career win. Ward now ties Amber Lynn, oh boy, as well as Jim Brewer for 93rd on the all-time win list.
But Bob, only if we could see what's happening right now behind the field house. Because I'm telling you, if I know Mike Speeney, we're probably discussing dinner right now between him and the Myers.
But remember, they have to fix that race car, too. So where do you put your attention? Going to, get your gripe with Burt Myers or fixing that race car?
That's the beauty of the second race. We're going to find out.
Meanwhile, Brandon Ward pulling that Suzuki Q104.1 Kevin's YesYes.com machine into victory lane. A white car for him this year after black last year, a gray car the year before that. A variety of colors for this modified team for Kevin Powell. Let's head downstairs to victory lane to hear what Brandon Ward has to say.
Your eyes on the video board. Coming up next, the second 20-lap event for the Loss is the John Barrow Sportsman Series. Brandon reaching into that bag, pulling out the number. Eyes on the video board. Number 14. Brandon will start 14th. The first 14 cars will be inverted for the second race. Give him a hand, climbing out of the cockpit now. Win number 3 on the season for Brandon Ward. Brandon, we're under a bit of a time crunch. You said early on you wanted to get that win number 3. Check mark there. Congratulations. Win number 15 in your career.
I appreciate it. These guys work hard here at KP Speed Motorsports and just can't thank each and every one of them enough. Kevin Powell, who couldn't be here tonight, he's at Hickory with our late model car. Just got to thank him for what he does for this group. Will Spa and all these guys for these race cars. PME Engines, PSR race cars. We got people here from Q104 and iHeartRadio tonight, so it's cool to win with them here. Of course, Affordable Tow, and thanks to Daryl and Nikki for coming back on board this year. Suzuki, Stilo Simpson, Bill Steen, Robin Sandblasting, of course, Kevin Powell Motorsports, Foothill Ford, and KevinSaysYes.com.
Brandon, congratulations.
So Brandon Ward celebrates his third win of the season, but the Madhouse Scramble, how many of these cars from the finishing order will be inverted? We're awaiting the scoreboard. 14 cars. That's a lot for an invert here tonight. We've already seen A.J. Sanders win as well as Brandon Ward. We'll be back with more racing action in Winston-Salem.
Starting 13th is the 31 of Chase Robertson. Starting 12th is the 0 of Kurt Sheets. The Tiger Tommy Neal starts 11th in the car number 21. Rolling off 10th is Ryan Robinson, the car number 23. May need to check that. I think Dylan Ward drove it in the first race. We'll need to check. Starting 9th in car number 14 is Jim Schultz. Rolling off 8th is the 12th of Justin Taylor. He had an interesting race in the first one. Starting 7th, car number 8 is Tyler Shipley. Rolling off 6th is number 40, driven by Hunter York. Starting 5th in 97 is Justin Cummings. Starting 4th is 15 is T. Dawson. Terry Smith is the number 63, rolls off 3rd. Starting side of road number 1 is the same starting position by virtue of the elite underground utility Madhouse Scramble redraw. The number 77 is Jeff Snow. And starting on the point is the number 03 of Sterling Clemens. That's the starting lineup for the second 20-lap event for the Loss of John Barrow Sportsman Series.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your number one source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
We've been dancing around the raindrops here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but the racing continues at Bowman Gray Stadium on night number 11 of the season. Now up the second of the Twin 20s for the NASCAR Sportsman class. And let's take a look at the starting lineup. On the front row, pseudo teammates scheduled to start after some transmission problems. The 03 of Sterling Plemons will lead the field to the green flag. On the outside, the 77 of Jeff Snow.
In the second row, in car number 63 is Terry Smith. And on the outside of him, in car number 15, is T. Dawson.
Kid Dynamite on the inside of row number 3. Starting fifth, the 97 of Justin Cummings. To his outside, the 40 of Hunter York.
Next row, in car number 8, is Kyler Kepley. On the outside is Donkey Strong. Car number 12 of Justin Taylor.
Rounding out the top 10 starting spots, Jim Schoaf in the number 14 on the inside of row number 5. And to his outside, an 18-time winner here at Bowman Gray. Running for Ryan Robertson in the 23, it's Dylan Ward.
Next row is the Tiger and Tommy Neal in car number 21. On the outside, it's the car number 0 of Kirk Sheets.
8 wins combined in row number 7 for these two drivers. On the inside, the point leader, Chase Robertson, with 5 wins, and 3 for Zach Orr on the outside of the 55.
Next row is last week's winner, car number 38, and Mitch Gales. And tonight's winner in the first Sportsman 20 in car number 28, Nate Gregg.
Marty Wilmoth scheduled to start at the tail end of the field in the 01 car. I don't see his car out on the racetrack, and several drivers electing to start in the rear as opposed to their starting spot here. In fact, I don't see the 77 of Jeff Snow on the racetrack. He was scheduled to start on the outside of row number 1. T. Dawson is at the rear of the field, so it looks like he's elected to start at the back. He was supposed to be on the outside. So what's going to happen is Hunter York as well electing to start at the rear. So Justin Taylor, who's scheduled to start 8th, will now be on the outside of the front row for this start of the race.
As the lights on the pace car is off, we've got the Rockstar and Donkey Strong, your front row as they come around to the green.
Terry Smith, Justin Cummings, Kyler Kepley, and Jim Schoaf also electing to start at the rear. That moves Tommy Neal to 3rd. Green flag for the second of the Twin 20s for the NASCAR Sportsman. Plemons, and Donkey Strong on the outside off of turn number 2. It's going to be the Rockstar going to the lead.
Tiger Tommy Neal tries to throw it in there under Donkey Strong, but it doesn't work. Oh, we got Donkey Strong, gets a good drive off, gets in the back of the Rockstar, but the Rockstar gathers it up. He's got that car underneath him now as they sit 1, 2, 3 there. Tiger Tommy Neal. The last one be single file.
Oh, and a little knock to the back bumper. Justin Taylor gets into Sterling Plemons. Plemons with 1 win so far this year. Same for Taylor in the 12. Tommy Neal waiting to see what those two when they wage war. What happens?
Donkey Strong's car is definitely getting around the corners a lot better than Sterling Plemons. Sterling Plemons with a better run on that run right there. Zach Orr gets in the back of the 14 in the back of the field here. He gets it back going.
Zach Orr not able to make up a bunch of spots yet. T. Dawson will go around in turns 1 and 2. So trouble for T. Dawson in this one. It looked like a little contact with Justin Cummings in the 97 sent T. Dawson around.
What started all this, Bob, is when I mentioned Zach Orr, a points contender here, got into the 14 over here coming off turn 4, goes by the can opener, and ended up causing the accordion effect.
Oh, T. Dawson looked like he went after the 97 now. Kid Dynamite, I thought he put it in reverse for a second and then thought better of it. He said, my night's still alive. T. Dawson it is as well, but Ooh, going to be some interesting racing towards the back end of the field for T. Dawson as well as Cummings in that 97. In fact, they're going to be starting right next to each other.
Oh, that should be something to watch. Justin Cummings with an excellent-looking race car. It's not going to look too excellent before the night's over, I don't believe, with 5 laps on the board.
He's trying to play hide and seek right now, trying to keep away from the 15 of T. Dawson. Look at him. He keeps on going around some people. In fact, 63 of Terry Smith having himself a tough night in that blue and silver race car. But I'm sure he's got the eyes on the rearview mirror right now with T. Dawson right behind him.
He knows he's got a good-looking car and wants to keep it looking like that. But, again, that was a product of the accordion effect after Zach Orr's incident with the 14. It's just a product of racing around a football field. There's nowhere to go. They were checking up. And, Justin Cummings goes through the 15.
So we're coming back to green, this time by Sterling Plemons out front. Over Taylor in second, Tommy Neal in third, and look who's fourth, Chase Robertson. We know what happened in that first feature. Robertson and Neal getting together. I'm sure Neal's going to keep that car pretty wide to keep the 31 at bay. Back to green we go. Taylor looks to the inside, a little nudge to the back end of the 0-3. He's got to run up underneath. Can he make it in turn 3? No.
The Rockstar's got the horsepower, but Justin Taylor's got a good handling car, and a good handling car here is what matters, as he's got some sheet metal hanging off of the right side of that number 12 car, but it's not holding him back as he's getting on the inside of Sterling Plemons.
Here comes Taylor as we look at Cummings and T. Dawson at the back of the field. Little contact again from the 12 car. In fact, some sheet metal damage. That right front fender, I believe, torn off of Taylor's machine.
Taylor can get on the inside of Sterling Plemons, but Sterling Plemons gets a drive off the corner a lot better than what Taylor does. But right now, as they settle in, Taylor's got to worry about that right side door.
Yeah, doesn't want to get back into Sterling Plemons, because if he does, could poke that right front tire into that 0-3 and puncture that thing.
Sterling Plemons, he's got a little bit of distance between him and the 12. 9 laps on the board.
Best battle on the racetrack. Well, it was a battle for 6. Zach Orr gets by Mitch Gales. Now Gales falling by the wayside a little bit. So Zach Orr kind of creeping up into the fray as well in the 55, right behind the 23 of Dylan Ward.
Sterling Plemons sees the cross flags as they complete halfway. Tiger Tommy Neal and Chase Robertson, they're looking like they're battling a little bit here for the 3rd spot. Chase doesn't want to pick with the Tiger too much. He's took him out one time tonight.
The claws could come out in a hurry from Tommy Neal if Chase Robertson gets into him, but Chase kind of keeping his space right now. Teammate in the 23 behind him. Out front, though, Sterling Plemons, Justin Taylor with that right front fender torn off that number 12 machine.
Sterling Plemons' car looks like it is coming in right now. It's doing a lot better than it was at the start. Good long run here for Sterling Plemons. And as we see Chase Robertson, he couldn't ask for a better person behind him right now, because that's a team car. Because right now it's holding up the group. And if that wasn't a team car, it would have pushed him into the Tiger.
Robertson with a little shot to the back bumper of Tommy Neal, saying, all right, buddy, get going, otherwise I'm going to knock you a little bit harder. Robertson trying to move to the inside of the 21. Meanwhile, contact for the lead. Justin Taylor gets into Sterling Plemons and continues to rip that body off that race car.
Donkey Strong let out the gas and lost the momentum. He should have stayed in it. He was on the inside of Sterling Plemons, but Sterling Plemons came out up top on that battle.
You got to applaud the effort to be a clean racer there. It's one thing to move somebody, it's another thing to really spin them. And if Justin Taylor kept his foot in it, he would have spun Sterling Plemons.
Well, we're not here to make friends, Bob. We're here to win races. And what you got to do here is you got to use that bumper. And right now, each time he gets to Sterling Plemons, Donkey Strong's losing pieces on his car, it looks like.
By the way, Chase Robertson has Tommy Neal in front of him and Zach Orr behind him.
Oh, all three's got history.
That's 3rd through 5th on the racetrack. A little separation between 1st and 2nd with just 2 laps to go. The best battle, Tommy Neal in 3rd in the 21, Chase Robertson 4th, and Zach Orr in 5th.
Now, Chase Robertson, he had the team car behind him, but now he's got Zach Orr bearing down on the back of him as the leader gets the white flag.
Justin Taylor not going to be able to catch Sterling Plemons. Sterling Plemons will party like a rock star at Bowman Gray tonight with his second win of the year.
Zach Orr gave the bumper to Chase Robertson going into 4 and was beating him, banging, and they're still beating and banging after the flag.
They are. Zach Orr and Chase Robertson trading paint after the checkered flag here. And there's Sterling Plemons getting a congratulatory wave from Justin Taylor, who finishes in the second spot. Third place, Tommy Neal in this one of last week's winners here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Congratulations to Sterling Plemons, the rock star, on top tonight. But coming to the flag, Zach Orr gets into the back of Chase Robertson, gets underneath him, and bangs doors all the way down here to the line. This is bad blood. Chase Robertson got the spot.
Okay. That's all that matters, right?
Absolutely.
So Chase Robertson finishes 4th, and Zach Orr 5th in this second of the Twin 20s for the sportsman class. Sterling Plemons going around the racetrack. The fans celebrating with him. I love the nickname, the rock star, and Sterling Plemons, that's a good-looking machine with the chrome rims on that car. Very simple, black with white 03 on the side of the car, and he's going to be happy when he climbs out in victory lane here tonight.
Second win of the season for Sterling Plemons. Coming up next, the second 25-lapper for the Brass Golf Car Modifieds. We'll have just a brief question for Sterling, getting unbuckled now. Takes a deep breath. Sterling Plemons climbing out of the cockpit. Sterling, we got to be really brief, but I got to ask you, Justin Taylor.
You know, it's Justin and me, so it's always like we're magnets to each other. And he wanted to play games. He seemed upset. I don't know what he's upset over. I've had a terrible night. The transmission hung in gear on the first race. I probably should have won that one. We rallied back to come back and get the second one. I don't know how to race any better than that. And I don't know. That's it.
Congratulations. Win number 2 on the season. I think number 6.
So let's take a look at what shook down behind Sterling Plemons. Coming to the checkered flag, this is A.J. Sanders winning earlier today, Nate Gregg as well. But it was an interesting battle between Zach Orr as well as Chase Robertson, 1 and 2 in points. Here it is, down in 3 and 4. Watch Zach Orr gets into the back bumper of the 31, gets him sideways, does not dump him. In fact, Zach Orr leans on him right to the checkered flag. Chase Robertson cuts low to try to put up the defensive maneuver, and it paid off because he gets the spot.
It wasn't over after that. They were beating and banging right there.
So more racing still to come. The twin features for the sportsmen are done. The Mighty Modified second feature coming up here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Connor Brand starts 17th to car number 7, rolling off 16th. And the number 3 is Andrew Harra. Starting 15th to car number 6 is Slade Myers. Rolling off 14th, the winner of the first event, the 04 of the first cleanup, Brandon Moore. 13th and 5 of Lee Jeffries. Third 9 is car number 1, roll off 12th. Starting 11th, car number 16 is the showstopper, Chris Fleming. Starting 10th, the car number 4 is Jason Myers. Rolling off 9th is the 07 of Riley Hill. Mile 7, starts 9th, car number 9. Starts 8th, I'm sorry. Rolling off 7th, car number 51 of Junior Stern. Ethan Trill, the car number 64, starts
Just 5 nights of racing remain at Bowman Gray Stadium next week. The big one, the Sportsman 100. Twin 25s for the mods and a chain race as well. But a lot on the line next week here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We hope to see you at the racetrack where you can watch every week on Flow Racing. Little precipitation at the racetrack, but nothing, at least as of now, that's going to slow things down. Just a little bit of a green kind of around Winston-Salem right now, but we're hoping with these cars on the racetrack and the heat that they provide that we'll be able to continue racing. Up next is the second of the Twin 25s, so the modifieds, and guess what? An interesting Madhouse scramble, inverting a bunch of cars in this one. And let's take a look at the starting lineup on the front row for this one. A 17-time winner in Twin 25s for NASCAR Modifieds. On the front row for this one, it'll be Randy Butner. Alongside of him, Tim Brown, a 101-time winner here in NASCAR Modified competition.
Second row is car number 79 of White Lightning and Ryan Flores. On the outside of him is in that beautiful tribute to Puddin' Swisher. Car number 53, John Smith.
Starting fifth, a very plain blue 44 for two-time top 10 finisher this year, Daniel Beeson, and Ethan Trull, the kid in the 64, will start sixth.
Next row in car number 51 is Junior Snow. On the outside of him in car number 9, Kyle Southern.
Speaking of number 9, starting ninth will be the 07 of Riley Neal, seventh in points as a sophomore driver. And then alongside of him, 42-time winner here at Bowman Gray Stadium, Jason Myers in the number 4.
Next up, it's the showstopper. Car number 16, Chris Fleming. And on the outside of him is car number 1, the ace, Burt Myers.
The best of the best from feature number 1 in row number 7. Second place in the first feature, Lee Jeffries in the 75, will start 13th. And the winner in the 04, Brandon Ward, he's also your point leader.
Next row, car number 6, Slayton Myers. On the outside of him in car number 3, Andrew Hara.
Starting 17th, the number 7 of converted Sportsman driver Connor Branch to the modifieds. And the 00, we saw him go to the infield in feature number 1, the Flying Taco, Danny Probst.
Next up, you'll have car number 39 of Gerald Robertson. On the outside of him is Crab Smith.
21st will be the 12 of Dean Ward, and Susan Harwell in the 77 will start 22nd.
Next row, car number 92 is Brody Jones. On the outside of him in car number 88, Johnny Murdoch.
25th, Brandon Butner, Corey Levitt, 11, starting 26th, and then Mike Speeney is scheduled to start at the rear of the field. Now, the significance of Mike Speeney is that he actually had some damage after contact with Burt Myers in the first feature, and now we're seeing these cars actually head to the pit area because the rain has got too persistent here. This is the 4th delay overall, twice while we were on the air tonight, for some rain around this area, but so far the track staff has been able to get things underway once again. We'll take a look at the weather because last I looked, it didn't look too bad. We check out the radar here. It was just a little green blob around this region. And my phone, everybody going to their phones right now, so taking a little bit longer to actually circulate. You do see a little bit of green, but it looks like it might move by and through this area pretty quickly.
It's not even 10 o'clock, so they got time to get all the shows in tonight. So I don't see them doing anything because it's just one little blob of green over us right now. So I believe I've got some faith.
And remember, we still got a lot to go. This second of the Twin 25s for the modifieds. Then we have the street stocks and your favorite event of the night, the Demo Derby. You got a lot of buddies in that field.
Oh, you got a lot of relatives in that field.
It's going to be fun. These Demo Derbies are interesting, and we have the #1 Demo Derby fan at Bowman Gray in our booth, Justin Mincy.
Absolutely. But I thought I seen Erica Dillner's card back there. And for the Demo Derby, did you take not only Matt, but his wife Erica's car?
Might as well, right? Absolutely.
They're not going to be able to go to work.
That's right. Well, MD can just walk over to the speedway.
Wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah, that's right. So, under another rain delay here, You know, I'm sure you're going to be getting some texts or calls from old MD. He's probably in the cabin in Tennessee right now, and my mom watching this, and Hudson's going, "Why is Jeff Bunton picking on you, Dad?"
Oh, it's brotherly love. We might not be blood, but it's brotherly love.
That's right. That's right. Honestly, I will tell you, I'm very. All right, let's talk about all-time winners here at Bowman Gray Stadium. About a month and a half ago, Burt Myers became the biggest winner ever in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium. 102 wins. To his credit, Tim Brown in second. But here's what I like. Yes, Burt Myers has the lead because he has one sportsman win. But right now, Burt Myers and Tim Brown, and we were having this conversation earlier today, both of them tied in terms of NASCAR modified wins here all time at the Madhouse. When we had the conversation, you asked me, who's going to be known as the better driver, Tim Brown or Burt Myers? What was your equation and your, hypothesis on this question?
The question was, back in the day in the series Madhouse, it's that famous line that Tim Brown said, "This is my house." Okay, he's had the keys for all these years, but when is it? When it's the nail in the coffin and then the keys are transferred over to somebody else? When does that get cemented into the history books? Because like you said, they're tied at 101 in mod wins. Championships, Tim's got 12, Burt's got 11. Burt's got all-time winnings here. And, he's got one up with a sportsman win. But when is it that the keys get transferred over to another man? Well, tell me.
Let's add another thing into that equation. If it were not for Junior Miller and what he and Burt Myers did with their rivalry here, could we be talking about a different situation?
Yeah, but that's a question.
What if?
A what if? We're talking about right now on social media. Madhouse Maniacs, you guys. Let's see it. Let's see it. Get on social media and say, what will it be that determines who holds the keys to the Madhouse?
I want to know from the fans who is the best right now, because they are both tied at 101 in the NASCAR Modified Division. Who do you think is the better, is the kingpin?
You're going to have
Tim Brown or Burt Myers? I want to see the feud kind of light up the media right now.
You can't ask it that way, because then you're going to have, like I said, this is the most passionate fan in all of racing. They'll say, well, Burt Myers can steal candy out of a child's hand. And his fan is going to say, no, he didn't.
But that's what we want.
He saved them from having a cavity. So you're going to have fans back their drivers up. Okay, so I want to know, even between the Myers fans, the Tim Brown fans, what is it that's going to put the keys? How do you determine who is?
You're getting worked up.
Well, this is a good rivalry, and this is the only track that has two individuals at their age that has this type history.
Okay, let's add some more nuggets here. Tim Brown dominated the 2000s with 27 wins. Burt Myers dominated the 2010 decade with 43 wins, which was a stronger decade. And let's throw another wrench into the equation, because you mentioned Tim Brown with those 12 championships, Burt Myers with 11. They're both tied at 101 on the NASCAR Modified Win column. But by far, the better driver in qualifying has been Tim Brown with 145 pole awards. Does that factor into the equation?
I don't care about poles. I care about championships, and I care about wins. And right now, and again, this is putting both drivers over. There's no other track in this country that you have drivers at this age that has this much accolades and much nuggets and much championships, wins. This is phenomenal out of these two. But again, social media, get out there. Madhouse Maniacs, get out there on social media. What is it that's going to be, okay, the keys are now in this driver's hands now. This is his house. What determines that?
You look like, you're about to go wrestling. You got veins coming out of your neck right now. You're passionate.
Where's my tights? Where's my tights? Where's my boots?
But I want to know, really, what do you think the drivers, Tim Brown and Burt Myers, think about what we're posing here tonight? Who is better at Bowman Gray, Tim Brown, the Rocket, or the Ace, Burt Myers? And remember, okay, You know, you have that Junior Miller equation as well.
That's a what if.
But you remember what Burt Myers said about Junior Miller. Junior Miller, widely known as the king of Southern Modifieds. He said, an ace beats a king every time. So that was a classic line by Burt Myers. But what do you think the drivers feel about this?
I can tell you this. When Burt Myers and Tim Brown both get up in the morning, they lace up them boots. I'm talking wrestling terms. They lace them boots up because they know Tim Brown's going to show up at the racetrack still. Tim knows Burt's going to show up at the racetrack still. They fuel each other. It's an ego thing, but it's also a race car driver thing. But they suit up each and every weekend because they know that one is still there trying to up the other.
Let me fire you up a little bit more.
Oh, go ahead.
Because racing is a lot of what have you done for me lately, okay? Well, in the 2000s, we talk about those 27 wins for Tim Brown, 5 championships. Well, in the 2010s, 7 championships for Burt Myers. Well, right there, Burt Myers definitely the better driver as of late. And listen, I'm not defending Burt. I'm not saying it's Tim Brown. I'm just putting up some nuggets for you to consider.
That's the beauty of racing. It's a roller coaster ride. It's a heck of a ride to be a part of. And yes, I'm passionate about this because I'm passionate about this place. And it's superstars. And we're talking about 2 superstars that, like I said, no other racetrack in this country has something like this going on. And that's the beauty of it. It's going to keep on going that I can see. Yes, Tim's in a slump right now. And right now, Burt looks like there's no stopping him in the next decade. So, and then you got Slate coming up. That's another story for another time. But who's got something left in the tank? And what is it going to take to say, this is my house? Right now, Tim's got that. Me, you want my opinion?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, my opinion is this.
Okay.
Burt needs to have one up on him on everything.
One
not
up
pulls.
Or equal.
No.
Equal with championships.
No.
And he has the wins.
No. Burt Myers does not want to be tied. Burt Myers does not want to be tied with someone.
Think about this. Let me paint this scenario for you. Say they both have 12 championships.
Yeah.
Say Burt wins this year, next year, whatever it is, and Tim doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so say they're tied, but Burt has more wins.
And they're tied at championships? No, it doesn't matter.
You said polls doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I'd say wins and championships. He's got most wins, and he's tied with championships. Good, great. But a title is hard to win here.
But if they're equal, doesn't it go to the wins? And if Burt's higher and okay, how about this? Because Justin Mincy, we want to get you worked up. Justin Mincy's been working things up. Tim Brown has a career win percentage of just about 15%, 14.90. Burt Myers has a win percentage in his career of almost 17%, 16.95.
I don't care about percentages. Get the percentages away. I don't care. I care about 12 titles, 11 titles, 101 wins. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and let me throw another theory. What if Tim Brown didn't have the back problems that he did? He's been suffering with some back issues.
Like I said, these guys are at the age that no other track has gentlemen like this that's still going, but who's got something left in the tank? And like I said, Burt's, there's no stopping him, it looks like, in the next decade. Tim, yes, do you want to bring up the back problems? He does. He has back problems. But it's about championships and wins. It's tough to win here, but it's tougher to have that many championships and win one, period.
Do you need to go out in the hallway and just walk a little bit?
Where's my tights and boots? I need to suit up. I can have a 2-hour-long match right now with Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. Come on, let's go.
See what we did? We stalled a little bit to talk about something that a lot of fans are passionate about.
It's
here
passion.
Bowman Gray Racing.
It's passion, brother.
Right. And now the modifieds coming back out on the racetrack after a little bit of a weather break here. The rain has gone away.
Hey, we're good.
It's still in the area, but it has gone away. This track, they didn't lose it because you could see the light gray around here. So it looks like we're just about ready to go back racing.
About ready to go back racing, and everybody's going to be racing like it's the last lap because the rain, the weather, it's in the area. They want to get this in. They want to become the winner.
Let me ask you another thing, since we've been talking about Burt Myers and Tim Brown. Does Tim Brown in that Hayes Jewelers 23 with Jerry Hunt Supercenter on the side of that race car, on the outside of the front row, does he break the streak here tonight? And does he get win number 1 after 21 races without a victory?
I hope I don't jinx him, but I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Tim Brown's going to win this one. Remember the Myers-Brown feud from the 2000s when they were suspended the last half of the season. What if they weren't suspended? That's a question for you. But Madhouse Maniacs, I want you to get on social media. I want you to type on there. Tag me and Bob in there if you got me as a friend.
And Matthew.
And Matthew. Yes, definitely Matthew. If you're a mutant, you probably got me blocked. It's okay. But if you want to put on there, what is it that what's the word I'm looking for? What is it?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going.
What is it that says he is the owner of the keys of the house?
Okay.
And I hope this is on the podcast of the orange bumper and the blue bumper and the black bumper.
You know what?
The chrome bumper.
Here's my
This
suggestion.
is a very good question.
Here's my suggestion. I'd love for Justin Mincy to come up with this one. How many races has Tim Brown won in the blue car versus the orange car? That is something, and he's going to work on it, because I remember Tim Brown back in the day with that red interior, the chassis in red, and that majestic blue. It sparkled around this racetrack with the chrome wheels, Hayes Jewelers on the side, and Tim Brown was magnificent with that blue race car. And honestly, Tim Brown is good no matter what. Starts on the outside of the front row of this one. But, man, that was a very special car I remember for so many years here at Bowman Gray.
I didn't like the Ice Cube one. That was not my favorite one. He had a sponsorship with Circle K, and it was cool, but I did not like that Ice Cube car.
You notice Burt Myers in the number 1, when he went back to that black and white scheme rather than the black and blue scheme, he's been much better. I think he's got all 4 wins, I believe, with the black and white scheme this year. I could be wrong on that.
Well, if you want to do the what ifs.
What ifs?
Okay, let's say Superman. Superman just came out.
Jonathan Davenport?
No.
He's Superman.
Superman just came out.
Racing.
Yes, but the Superman just came out, and it just dawned on me.
Okay.
The what ifs. What if John Holliman didn't get into another business and move away?
Okay, I don't get your point there.
He was competition.
Yeah, he's competition, but there's plenty of competition out here.
Well, he was up. I was up here with Matthew, your brother. I was up here with your brother Matthew when John Holliman and Burt Myers was sliding through the grass, and John Holliman grabbed a bunch of handful of wheel. Well, if you watch it, then you heard your brother just go all over the place about that.
His voice went up an octave or two.
Someone said someone should help that lady, but it was Matthew. But he grabbed a handful of wheel and saved it.
Okay, here's the deal.
That's a what if for you.
We're talking about it because we're going back racing. I believe I can't see.
I can't see
the window.
Nothing. This whole window is humid. It's got wet everywhere. I can't see nothing.
Yes, the lights are off on the pace car because it's in the infield.
Well, I'm glad you could see it.
Randy Butner, Tim Brown, front row, second of the Twin 25s for the NASCAR Modified starts now.
Green flag, and we're going to see Tim Brown, the rocket off and try to clear Randy Butner. Does he clear him coming off of 2? Oh, he does. He's going to sit on cruise control. I'm telling you, Bob, he might win this one.
Look at Skip Flores in third in White Lightning, that Hillbilly Motorsports 79. His best effort here to the back bumper. He goes with a wrap tap on Randy Butner.
Coming around to complete only lap 2, and we've got chrome horns and back bumpers going crazy. As Ron Flores, like you said, Bob, this is his best chance of winning here at the Madhouse. Everybody wants their name etched in stone here that they won one.
I don't know where to look. Is that battle for second good, but about 8th on back? Really interesting with Burt Myers, Riley Neal, Jason Myers all duking it out. There it is on Flow Racing. Here comes Burt Myers. Remember, 3rd in points. And by the way, no Mike Speeney in the field. We mentioned Burt Myers and Speeney getting into it in race number 1. Speeney with that right front suspension did not come back out. Caution on the racetrack. The Flying Taco for the second time here tonight. Danny Probst goes around to bring out the caution.
Right before that caution came out, you saw brotherly love with Jason allowing Burt to come in front of him there and get in the spot because he was hung out high and dry. But Jason Myers lets Burt in as Danny Probst spins it on the front stretch.
So many cars with history. We talk about Burt Myers. We talk about Tim Brown. We talk about Jason Myers. But I'm really looking at the driver who is in 4th place. place right now in a very special ride here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The number 53 machine, Puddin' Swisher's car. Puddin', you know, he was one of the greats here at Bowman Gray Stadium and all in Southern Modified Racing. But John Smith coming back to Bowman Gray for the first time this season and running the Puddin' Swisher number 53.
That number 53 is iconic here at Bowman Gray Stadium and Southern Modified Racing in general. Usually it's the red one with the
white or yellow 53.
Yeah.
Through the years, yes.
Yeah.
You're still choked up about
I'm
that
a little
conversation.
choked up. I just took some SP lemonade here. That was good.
You take a break, and here we go.
Roadrunner with the Roadrunner on the side of it. That's what
Absolutely.
I was thinking.
Yes, I took a picture of that today. The Rocket with the lead at Bowman Gray Stadium. Randy Butner and Skip Flores for this restart in the top three.
Speaking of Roadrunner, the Rocket Tim Brown is outrunning the Roadrunner. And right now he's got a 2-car length lead on Randy Butner, Mr. Nice Guy. And speaking of Mr. Nice Guy, does Skip Flores really want to get into the back of him and move him?
Oh, well, just ask Junior Snow if that's a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, Randy Butner, one of the true nice guys in the pit area, but he gets mad, and then Skip Flores has got to be careful here tonight. But Tim Brown about a 2-car length lead over that 5 machine of Butner right now. 4th place is John Smith. 5th is Daniel Beeson in the number 44, that blue car. But Kyle Southern has been rapid on his back bumper.
Good run for Daniel Beeson right now in top 5 as you see Kyle Southern trying to get up on the back bumper of that 44. Beautiful car. Randy Butner, he's trying to hunt down Tim Brown as we come around and complete lap 9. As we see Crab Smith in the grass, he's coming back on the track out of 2. He's going to be a factor here when the leaders catch him.
Graham Smith, slow car inside, turn 4. Tim Brown coming up on him right now. We are now 10 laps complete, 10 laps into this one. Brandon Ward, feature number 1 winner, back in 14th.
Crab Smith, he's getting freight trained right now, staying out of the way. As Daniel Beeson has done caught the back bumper of that beautiful 53. He's so close he can see that Roadrunner. I couldn't think of the cartoon name. I got stuck.
The Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
I felt like the Wile E. Coyote there. I ran right into a block.
You exploded.
Yes.
Like you're Wile E. tonight. That's what it is.
Exactly. At least it's better than being a donkey, you know.
But listen, John Smith, a very successful modified racing career, here at Bowman Gray as well as around the country, Smart Tour and so forth. But the Mayberry Bullet, love that nickname. And right now the Mayberry Bullet is riding in 4th halfway through this one.
He is making Puddin' Swisher proud. We miss you, Puddin'.
We do.
Hope to see you soon here. But right now he's running a good 4th place.
John Smith told me he brought the car today, this morning, to Puddin' Swisher's dealership. And Puddin' came out, took a picture with the car, and hopefully is watching tonight here on Flow Racing.
Absolutely. 15 laps on the board. Tim Brown's got it on cruise control, but right now we've got Burt Myers between his brother and Junior Snow, as you see there. Jason Myers let Burt in earlier. And Burt Myers is capitalizing on someone that's back behind the field house that he got into it on the start of the first race of tonight. So he's capitalizing on that spot that Mike Speeney had, 2nd in points. And Burt's collecting the points tonight over Mike Speeney.
Burt Myers running 9th. And just to explain the situation in terms of the points as we watch Burt Myers go around this racetrack, we mentioned Speeney was 2nd in points. He had a 10-point lead on Burt Myers.
Oh, caution's out.
Caution is out. We'll report on that and get back to this. Not sure whether it's for weather or debris on the racetrack. We don't have the report, but the caution is out. 18 laps into this 25-lap affair for the NASCAR Modifieds. Now, back to this situation. And maybe we can even show you the points again, because the point scenario is very interesting because every spot counts. And coming into this one, we mentioned Mike Speeney 2nd in points. 10 points behind him was Burt Myers. Now, how they calculate the points for a twin 25-lap race is your average finish of the 2 races. So Speeney did get credit for a very poor finish in the first race, so he will still get points. No points for this. He's definitely not going to have a good points night, but he still accumulates some points, and I would say definitely that those spots are going to swap after this one.
Damage has been done, that's for sure.
So Tim Brown over Randy Butner, Skip Flores, John Smith, and Daniel Beeson as we refire with just a handful of laps to go.
Good start by Tim Brown. He sets it back on cruise control as Skip Flores sees the inside open up underneath Randy Butner.
He's stacking pennies right now. Skip Flores to the inside of Randy Butner. A very clean run there between a pair of white cars. Another white car coming into the fray as well. The Puddin' Swisher, 53. Wow, a little contact with Butner. John Smith almost went for a ride. Great piece of driving there.
He gathers it back up as they're getting tangled up back here. Daniel Beeson, he's got a handful of steering wheel.
Beeson is in trouble trying to hold off Kyle Southern as well as Ethan Truhl and Junior Snow.
Right now, White Lightning, he sees the rocket in front of him. And let me tell you something, Skip Flores, he's got history of battles and around tight places in those arena races that he does. He's got the strength. He's got the nutrition. He may catch Tim, but he's running out of time. 22 on the board.
I don't know if he's going to catch Tim. Tim Brown, 64 wins in the all-blue car, by the way, that he ran from 2002 to 2019. Definitely the majority of his wins came in that blue car.
Next time by Tim Brown, we'll see the white flag. Skip Flores with a great run in that 79. He's linked up tonight.
Butner still in third. Fourth is John Smith, and Daniel Beeson held on. I don't know how, but he held on to that fifth spot. 1 lap to go in this one. Hayes Jewelers, Jerry Hunt Super Center on the side of Tim Brown's car, the 83. Well, the Rocket Man will break the winless streak here tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium with his 102nd win of his NASCAR modified career at Bowman Gray. Wow.
I should have bet on some little donuts because the streak is over.
The streak over. I told you. For tonight for the Rocket Man. Tim Brown played his cards well in that first race. Maybe not charging as much as he could have because of the Madhouse scramble and a certain invert. He played it to perfection. Started on the outside of the front row for this race here in the second of the Twin 25s and drives to victory lane once again. And
guess what that means?
Yes, I knew you were going to point this out.
Guess what that means? He's got 102 wins. He's got one up on Burt Myers
in the NASCAR mods, but they're tied now for all-time wins at Bowman Gray Stadium.
But we don't like ties. I'm just telling you.
There's always next week.
There's always next week, and that's why we all come back and we all tune in to Flow Racing for the Madhouse to see who will be the one to hold the keys and say, this is my house.
Looking to see, I believe that's Ben Brown, his brother, who has not been able to be here for every race this year. In fact, it is Ben down there congratulating his brother, Tim. 102 career wins for Tim Brown. That gives the Clifton Brown family 228 wins. Only trails the Myers family, who has 239, but that's 2 families to 1 here. But Tim Brown back in victory lane here tonight at the Madhouse. We go downstairs to Chris Carter.
With Tim Brown in this win. Tim Brown getting unbuckled. As we got weather on the way. As he gets unbuckled, Tim Brown getting ready to get out of the race car. Here he comes. I need you to make some noise and get loud. Tim Brown! Getting a hug from the family, Marley and Cam. That's a big deal to Tim. You knew it was coming. I think you thought it might have been a little sooner than later, but it don't matter. You now have 102 wins, Tim Brown. How does it feel, my friend?
Well, it's good to be back in victory lane. I really don't like winning these second 25-lap races, but the way our season's gone, we'll take it. We got a whole new group of guys this year, and man, I just got to thank Todd Hunt and Jerry Hunt Super Center for all they do for us. Bruce Hayes at Hayes Jewelers, Traffic Control Safety Services, Safe Day, Hog Williams Barbecue, Raymock Horsepower on display as always, Duggan's Welding, Mobile One, Precision Suspension, Safe Day, Hog, VP Racing Fuels. Man, we got so many people. Exodyne Valves. I know Keith's in the house tonight, and so many people to thank just to be here. Okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. So just got to thank this team. You know, we've worked hard all year. We ain't been the team we wanted to be all year, but we're back in victory lane, and hopefully it takes this momentum and move on to the rest of the season.
Congratulations, my friend.
So here's the updated all-time wins list at Bowman Gray Stadium. Now the rivalry continues. Who's better? Who knows? Burt Myers, 102. 101 in the modifieds, 1 in the sportsman. Tim Brown, 102-time winner in the NASCAR modifieds. The debate rages on. We'll be back. Well, 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 a little precipitation. You saw that flash of lightning as well here at Winston-Salem's Bowman Gray Stadium. The street stock class coming out next here for the final race prior to the Demo Derby here tonight to conclude the evening. So we'll see what happens with this. We've been under a couple of rain delays already tonight. Just saw Tim Brown win his 102nd victory in the NASCAR modified class at this racetrack. And now because of the rain, it appears as if the street stocks will head back to the pit area, and we're going to wait this out and find out what happens. I'll fire up the trusty phone again here tonight and find out how that little green blob is sitting around this region. It's been precarious here tonight. 4 rain delays. And you can see it's just barely touching us coming from the northwest and scooting across that green blob. The southern tail of that green is here. And I do have to say, families are so important here at Bowman Gray. We talked about the Cliftons, Browns, the Myers, you name it. The list goes on and on. But my brother Matthew not here at a family reunion. You might ask why I'm not there. That's a really good question. I don't know. I didn't know about it.
Because you took his car and got crushed.
When I agreed to this date, didn't know about the date for the family reunion. Nevertheless, I'm here enjoying talking to all of you on Flow Racing here tonight. But I'm also proud to have my son, Levi Dillner, here with us tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium. He's been with me in the stands as a fan before, but never with me for a broadcast. So my brother has Hudson. I've had Luke with me, my other son, but it's nice to have Levi with us here tonight as well.
Absolutely. And it's possible that we may be seeing the Demolition Derby being pushed up like they did for the monster trucks. So again, Bowman Gray Stadium staff here looking after the fans, because this is a packed house with the threat of rain, storms. They're still here. That's our Madhouse Maniacs for you. They're the best in the business, best in racing, all out here. So Bowman Gray's going to up it. They're going to have the Demo Derby now instead of the street stocks while we see the rain, as you see, pouring. It's just enough to to dampen everything.
And, you know, if you really think about this, will the street stocks come back out in the racetrack?
I
don't
doubt it.
think so, because the Demo Derby is really going to tear things up here on the racetrack. It'll be a heck of a cleanup to be able to get them on. So, you know, just based on our racing knowledge, I don't think we're going to see the street stocks here tonight. And I'm sure, you know, we'll figure out what's going to happen, and they'll have that announcement Monday, Tuesday through the Facebook page for Bowman Gray Stadium. But here they are. You talk about, I'm not going to even talk about a starting lineup here.
No.
Because it doesn't matter. But we do have sort of a roster. In fact, we do know the 15X, by the way, just goes by Doug. No last name whatsoever, just Doug.
Well, good to have Doug here tonight. He's in Erica Dillner's car.
Oh, is that who's out there?
You put Doug in Erica Dillner's car? Unbelievable.
Did you bring Whitney's car out here?
You're not supposed to say anything.
Oh, sorry about that. By the way, you can't say much about names because you're a guy with two names, Jeff Button and J.B. Cole.
That's an alter ego.
That's right.
You brought that out when we were talking about who holds the keys to this place.
So I've honestly never witnessed a demo derby here. So here's the starting grid, you know, and you see a Jimmy Walker, Justin Walker.
There's Doug.
They're related. There's Doug, 15.
Pulling for Doug.
Ricky Kimmel. Is that like the same as the night show host? You know, Jimmy Kimmel is like his brother or something.
You like cousin.
And listen, Buck Wild.
Buck Wild?
Starts on the
Who
inside
names the kid Buck
of
Wild?
row number 4.
He would be in the 69 car. Buck Wild. Unbelievable.
Dakota Lewis. That's sort of a normal name. But then there's Christian Luck back there as well.
There's nothing normal about this, Bob.
You got to be lucky in a demo derby.
There's nothing normal about this.
What is going on? They put one of those, they're putting some cars out on the racetrack. Justin Mincy should be on the headset here because he knows this class better than all.
What they do is they put these cars that they use in the monster trucks out here to keep them from going any further. It keeps the action packed in, so they can't go too far.
Can you go to the infield?
No, you cannot go in the grass. If you go in the grass, that's a big no-no.
So there's barely enough room. If we look at the car on the backstretch, there's barely enough room on the inside of the track and the outside.
So you're not going to. It's a horseshoe. You're not going to see them go down in 3 and 4. You're going to see them right here, where the greatest stadium in all of racing, right here in front of the fans. Not a bad seat in the house.
Okay. So this ought to be interesting. I grew up with the World Championship Demo Derby at Islip Speedway and Riverhead Raceway for so many years. My dad always wanted to leave after the Figure 8 World Championship race, and I was always like, let's stay. Look. Did you see? No sleeves on these people.
Where's his seatbelt?
Where's his sleeves?
Is that Doug?
He wanted to show out his guns.
His guns. Is he flexing? Because I don't see nothing
there.
I mean, what is that? Kimmel? Who is that? That's Ricky Kimmel. Okay,
it's a J car. That's what I know. 21 Derby wins.
Well, he's the king. I want to know where Doug is.
I love you see the headers coming through. You know, the hoods of these cars reminds me of the crash cars that Charlotte Motor Speedway had for so many years. The guy on the outside, by the way, he looks like he's been through a few demo derbies.
Been through some other things, too, by the looks of them. I mean, God bless them.
This person's got to put their helmet on.
Tony, do you see? Wait a minute. Did you see how quick Tony took his helmet off? Unbelievable.
Don't spill your S&B lemonade up here.
I'm getting worked up again.
And
it wasn't even strapped in. His helmet wasn't even strapped in.
The 8 ball, and there's the 91. That's the first sleeveless person that I saw.
Is that Doug? Who's
I
Doug?
don't know.
Which one's Doug?
Doug is the 15.
Okay. Well,
so if you can find the 15.
The white 15. Doug's the white 15. There's Kimmel. Kimmel's the champ.
So I see what you're saying. They can't go past the car on the backstretch.
Right.
Okay, can the backstretch cars come to the front stretch?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a horseshoe.
Well, look at this 24 on the front stretch. It's got no back end to begin with, and he's trying to ram people.
Well, these are front-wheel drive cars.
Well, he's still got to have the rear tires.
Well, yeah, but he's using the rear end. Oh, he's going to need a chiropractor after that.
Sorry, I was looking outside my front booth window here, and you got some action down in turn number 2. Now they're in the infield, and the officials are standing out there pointing them back to the racetrack, saying you're not supposed to be on the grass. We've got to play football here in just about a month or so.
We've got an exhaust sitting in turn 1, and a car just ran over it. A whole exhaust.
We got cars stopped already. So, but we have several. I have seen one of these before, but I watched it from turn 4. a couple of years ago. We got one on fire, I believe, down in turn number 1.
Oh, that's just smoke. That's just smoke.
I see orange.
Yeah, it's just smoke. Don't worry about it.
The 39 car. Oh, that 15. There's a 15. There's Doug.
There's Doug.
There's Doug.
Is Doug still running? Doug's going to win this thing.
Doug is looking out his window. Is about to get hit here.
We're going to sing the Doug song. You ever seen The Hangover?
Can you sing it?
Dougie Doug?
No.
Doug. Dougie Doug.
Doug. There's the 336.
Oh, wow. What a hit. Oh. Now, see, that station wagon, he's got an advantage. He's got a whole big old rear end right there that he can use.
If I were the flag man here, that's a big hit right there. Nice hit. Here's the J car. He just keeps on plowing into this guy. His back end is all messed up. One of these sleeveless wonders in this race.
Good grief. A bumper just flew over the wall there.
JRW, I love this because you see great racing action. Now you get to see a demo derby at one of the finest stadiums in all of America.
Well, sometimes the demo derby breaks out in the racing here.
That is true. We've seen that. People back into each other during a caution.
Definitely, street stock racing.
This is the Long Island Expressway or maybe I-77, around the Charlotte area right now. It seems to be a little bit congested out there.
Oh, we got a lot of, speaking of smoke here, we got a lot of smoke right here in 3 and 4.
Now, neither one of these guys want to let off the gas.
Well, they're going to have to let off at some point.
You should be in a demo derby.
The heck? No.
Put the tights back on like J.B. Cole?
No, that's okay. I'd get out of there real quick with some baby oil.
And that, wait, I thought you said they weren't allowed down in 3 and 4.
Well, they didn't put this car that they had down there like they're supposed to. They gave up because they had so many out here, I guess.
Okay. Well, see, you told me something wrong.
I'm sorry.
So is anybody? These guys are still alive.
These guys are still alive. Are we saying these guys are the cars?
Well, the cars are still alive.
Because the way these things are built, I would be surprised. I mean, geez. Yep.
I love this.
They're not supposed to be in the grass.
This handwritten roster, by the way, the 39.
It fits. That's what we're watching.
Kevin Rothrock, by the way, in that white 39, a one-time Derby winner.
Look at the sparks. Look at it. There's
what
your
number
fire.
car is that?
There's your fire.
That's not the car that was on fire.
Is that Doug?
I don't know.
Doug?
That's not Doug.
Doug, get out.
How can you tell the number on that?
Doug, it's on fire. Get out, buddy.
I think the rim is on the pavement.
Is that Doug?
No, that's the 11, I believe.
All right, where's Doug?
The 11 is Caleb Johnson, and you can see their
He's
front-wheel
not going
drive.
nowhere. Why is he still trying?
There's the J car. The J car is driven by Jimmy Kimmel's brother Ricky. 21 Derby wins.
Cousin. They're all cousins out here. They're all cousins. They're all your relatives here. Where's that guy?
Wait, that's the 15?
That's Doug.
That's Doug.
That's Doug. He's done.
Doug is done. Oh, Doug is dead.
Doug is gone. Oh, well.
Well, we got plenty of them still going.
I'm glad you can see,
By
because
the
I
way,
can't
the
see.
rain, I believe, has stopped.
Well, it don't matter.
It don't matter. We got plenty of fluid on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, the 39 was going in for the final countdown there.
The final blow.
Oh, my.
Is Kimmel done? That's Kimmel, so he's a well-known one. Is he done?
Rothrock is okay.
So
there's a 28 car. That looks like a stout machine of Tony Johnson. He's got one.
Oh, there's
Derby
Kimmel.
win.
He's done. Kimmel is well known in the demos here, so he's done. He's leaving. He's throwing his helmet. We might see them guns come into play.
Uh-oh, hold on. Are we going to have a fight here?
Here we go.
Hold on.
Is that a girl? That's a girl. We're
sure?
jaw-jacking. No, that's not a girl.
That
That's not a girl. Sorry. It's 2025, man. How are you supposed to know? That wasn't a girl. That was a dude.
There's the 39 car. Kevin Rothrock. He's smoking on the front end now. We have about 6 cars remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe we have 4. And all the drivers that are out of the race have gathered in the infield. And I love these. Down on the front stretch here, there is the silver car that keeps the wheels spinning. There's the 99
Is he still
machine.
spinning?
He is still spinning.
He's just sitting there. Oh, he's moving. He's trying to get it back on the track.
You got a couple of his buddies saying, turn the wheel. Turn the wheel. It's straight right now. Maybe that'll help.
That lady just walked. I mean, that dude just walked. He's got good, clean hair. I'm sorry, it confused me. And it's foggy on the window here.
The 99 of Christian Luck with 1 Derby win. Statistician extraordinaire Justin Mincy with these stats here tonight.
How many we got? 4?
I think we got 4 or 5.
4 is still alive.
4. That car is still on fire down in turn number 1.
It's okay. It's all right. He'll be all right.
JRW.
He's okay.
Yeah, okay. He's fine. But we can't tell. Is that the number 70? Can't tell. I don't know if I see a 70 in the starting lineup, so maybe that's not the number there.
That's 10.
The 8-ball is still alive. Look at the right front suspension on that car. It weebles, wobbles,
28.
but it don't fall. He just hit the wall by himself.
Well, he was just adjusting the steering. The 28 and 10.
28 just wants to.
That's a 10.
Crush anybody.
28 still alive.
28 still alive.
And we got the 8.
Okay, so Troy Johnson and J.J. Stiers. So where's the 28 going? He's going in for a big one right here. Look out! Boom!
Took the 8. Is the 8 done?
Oh, my. Well, after that one.
The 28 might be done. They all might be done.
The 28.
We got to see movement.
The 28 can't get loose either.
Oh.
We got 1 on the front stretch. The 10 still moving. J.J. Stiers still moving. The 28 gets free, and the 8-ball is still alive.
So we still got a 10 over here at the can opener. He was still moving. But he's unstopped.
I think there's a lot of can openers out here.
Oh, a whole lot.
Is that P.J. Lucas? P.J. Lucas in the 8-ball. That kind of looks a little bit like Pintang.
We might see a checkered here. We might see a checkered. He's got to see some movement from the 28.
That's right, because Stiers is done. We got the 28 and the 8-ball.
The 8's still moving. And there's the checkered.
Checkered flag is out.
We got flames. You got your flames, Bob. The 8 wins. He made the 28 burst into flames.
So how about that? The 28 goes in for the final shot.
Wait a minute. Who's winning here?
I'm
confused.
Made it the 28?
I'm confused.
Or are they celebrating? Hold on. The 28 one?
Not sure yet.
Well, that looks like it. They're celebrating. Wait a second. The 8 just climbed out the front windshield. Celebrates with his hands in the air. I think the 28 folks are going to be unhappy.
I'm not sure who won. I don't think anybody really won. I mean, all their stuff is tore up. I mean, bad.
That's P.J. Lucas standing on top of his car. He thinks he won. Did they call it a draw? They could call it a draw from official statistician extraordinaire.
Wait.
Who's the checker flag going to go to?
Who's he handing it to?
Is it both?
He ain't got no clue.
That's both of them down there. Nope. It goes to the 8-ball P.J. Lucas. The officials shooing everybody else out of the way. So it looks like P.J. Lucas gets his 7th Derby win. No, they tied. So it's still a 7th Derby win. But also the 28 car. And who was the 28 again? Tony Johnson, his 2nd Derby win. So we have a tie. I thought there were no ties in racing.
What is up with these ties?
Burt Myers, Tim
what.
Brown, and now these two guys tied.
I tell you what, these ties in Bowman Gray just don't, it doesn't mix. You have to have a winner. You don't have a draw.
Look at the sweat pouring off of that dude.
Good God.
Wow. It's hot, it's humid, it's emotional, and we just saw a heck of a demo derby race here tonight.
Hats off to Bowman Gray for getting most of the show in tonight.
Listen, I've been to 309 racetracks in my career. I can't count how many races I've seen, but this is the first demo derby I've ever called, and I enjoyed it with you, Jeff Buck.
I've enjoyed it tonight with you, Bob Dellner. I think the social media has said they've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed them. I still want to see those debates on who holds the keys to the house here at the Madhouse.
Oh, my gosh.
But we appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight at Flow Racing. Bob, I've enjoyed it, dude.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, for sure. And remember, next week we'll be back. Tonight's race winners, though, in the modifieds, Brandon Ward gets the win, his 3rd of the season. Tim Brown, his 1st of the season. Nate Gregg and Sterling Plemons get victories in the sportsman class. Win number 1 this year for Nate Gregg. Win number 2 for Sterling Plemons. A.J. Sanders gets his 4th of the year, and unfortunately the street stocks postponed. So we hope you enjoyed all the racing action here tonight and all the debates that we had in the booth, and we hope to see them on social media as well. So for everybody, remember, this is what we got coming up. 5 nights remaining. Sportsman 100, then the Mod 100. The Twin 50s is always interesting for the NASCAR Modifieds. A normal night, basically, on August 16th. And then the season finale. And let's throw a wrench in there, too. The 3rd double points night of this season. That'll conclude all the racing action here. So for everybody on the Flow Racing team here with NASCAR, Elgin Trailer, Samantha LeCount, Ryan Gavel, Donald Dunkley, you have everybody, Lucas Kaler, the producer, D-Lo, Will, and everybody from Charlotte to Winston-Salem. Congratulations. On behalf of Jeff Button, I'm Bob Dillner saying we love Bowman Gray Racing. And next week, Matthew Dillner will be back in the booth, hopefully James Pike as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun next week here at Bowman Gray Racing. We dance through the raindrops and get all the racing in. All the craziness with Tim Brown getting 102 here tonight. Good night from Winston-Salem.